Peace, power, prosperity. Rob Blackstorm here. Welcome, everyone. Let's start this countdown real quick.
Perhaps a little more room here for the fixins. You know what I'm talking about?
Ooh, we're gonna have a lot of fixins.
We're gonna have so many fucking fixins up in this motherfucker. This shit's gonna go through the roof.
Oh.
God damn, I'm shitting gold these days.
We made it. We made it.
The devil, the haters, the bloggers, the papers, the labels, they label me. But they can't relate to our struggle, my nigga. We came up from slavery. Apologies go out to all of my fans because they waited so patiently. This one is for all of the lost and forgotten black angels that pray for me. A million niggas love me cause I'm ill. The greatest story ever told, niggas in the field. From Solomon to Sambo to Django, it's fact. I'm the Farrakhan of rap and I get it from the wheel. The son of WD, who hung around in the deep, who ran around in the creek. The trap gods raised me, face all on the Sphinx, story all on the wall of the pyramids. Niggas know the black god saved me. You can blow the nose off, that won't change it. Obamacare won't heal all that anguish. We came a long way from the bottom of the boat. All praise to the Mac D, we found our language. Gold necklace, middle finger erected. God taught us Shabazz, styling on the record. Lost sons of Muhammad, we wildin' on the record. And Shad through Alad and Lahad is the message. All these niggas, I got to fight one. All these devils, I got to strike some. All these rebels just waiting on the war cry. Mama said, son, you got to strike drum. Rock nation, celebration, motivation, elevation. Nigga, we made it from slaves on the slave ship, live from the cotton field, straight to the spaceship.
Kind of makes me wonder why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down. Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
Hopped up a slave ship, popped up my chain and took it to Jacob. I got it, go play it. More than that bitch, like nigga, we made it. I own my own masters. No, I ain't missing no royalty statements. I can't be rated. Damn, ho, stun on them haters. Sorry, Mr. Drizzy, for so much y'all talk. Silly me rapping about shit that I really bought. While these rappers rap about guns they ain't shot. And a bunch of other silly shit that they ain't got. I'm on my loop, Peter. Young go. Stunting on stage after 12 years a slave. This ace of spade look like an Oscar. Black tux look like a monster. Don't make me raya. Nigga, watch your tone. I come to court with black boxes on. Y'all hella jealous of my melatonin. I can black out at any given moment. I'm God. Jesus 7-letter made. So with my arms to be shackle, I still get paid. All praise is due. I'm ready to chase a Yaku back in the cage. These are the last days. What do I sing phase? Showed up to the last supper. It's a brand new J's. I'm the true living. Book a hole. New religion. Ain't from the other world. Alien superstition. You blind, baby. Blind to the fact of who you are, maybe. My bloodline's crazy. Kings and queens and Michael Jordan rings. I go stupido. Sucio. The flow's filthy. Y'all can't kill me. I've been inoculated from the snakes in the face and your corny handshakes. Cocksucker, we made it. Ah.
Let's do it. I'm Black Hannibal, running through your capital on elephants. Civilize a savage with my elegance. Militant intelligence, run through your defense. Strike like a ninja, slice, cut, and injure. Leave no prisoners, just bodies on the battlefield. I'm Spartacus with a sword and shield. Something like a marksman with cold blue steel. War paint on my face, keep my identity concealed. Advance on your camp like dozens of killer ants. Snatch your king like chess, checkmate, this is death. While my team have fun with your queen. Throw your bishops off the roof, your knights flee the scene. I'm playing bombs in the home of your pawns. The detonation shook the foundation of your rooks. Holding shotguns with double barrels. They impact so hard when it blasts through your body travels. Yeah. Street Spartacus. Black Spartacus. Black Spartacus. Black Spartacus. Black Spartacus. Black Spartacus. Burn your flag as I overthrow your government. New politics, no Democrats and Republicans. Spiritual systems built by wise men who's true in living. The foundation's no longer Christian. Teaching universally the wisdom of the nations. New currency, no more dollar bills with white faces. No more Caucasian domination. All races participating, cultivating education. The people hungry and they ain't waiting. No more debating. Let's overthrow the haven and Satan. This whole world needs some new changes. Rulers with new faces. It's time to take out the racists. Spartacus from the new ages. From the page to the stage, pull a blade on the money changers. Spartacus from the new ages. From this page to the stage, pull a blade on the money changers. Hold up. Peace, power, and prosperity. Rob Black Storm. Shout out to Rod Slim in the building. All right, if you're in the building, smash that like button. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, happy MFing New Year. All right, nigga, we made it. All right, we made it to another year, 2023, a 7-year. Welcome to everybody who is here, who will catch the replay later on. I am Rob Blackstorm. I am here to discuss everything metaphysical, everything occult, everything spiritual, everything esoteric, right? And my goal is for your spiritual, personal development, for you to maximize the most of who you are mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually, right? For you to reach the highest heights of your manifestation powers, for you to reach the highest heights of your magical powers, and for you to be walking magic, right? For you to be magic that does not need a tool. For your electromagnetic field, aka your aura, as you walk, things manifest. As you walk, synchronicities occur, okay? Let me know how everybody's doing with the volume. I realized just now that I had the microphone far away from my face because I have my notepad here doing some last minute editing. Sometimes, you know, when you are doing these type of things, spirit will come through at the last minute and deliver something that you were supposed to give to the family. All right. So I appreciate your time. Shout out to Eileen here in the building from Vegas. All right. Shout out to Vegas. All right. I was in Vegas in 2020. Had a good time. Good at bad time, but mostly good. So shout out to Vegas, all right? What we're going to talk about first and foremost, I want to say, let's see, Rod Slim, St. Louis, okay. People coming in the building now, all right? Yeah, let me know where you're from. I'll try to shout you out in between the broadcast, you know, as I take the little breaks in between there. I appreciate y'all. First and foremost, thank everyone who has supported me over the years. Special thanks to Nataka L. Nataka W, I should say. I appreciate you. Thank you for your constant support. She knows who she is. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do appreciate you, okay? And I want to first and foremost say my oldest sister passed away on the 30th. So she was a designer. So I'm actually wearing this Fam Greer shirt in honor of her, because that was the type of energy she had as my oldest sister, you know, child of that particular era. So I just wanted to tell her, rest in power. I am dedicating this particular episode to her and this particular year of manifestation and growth to her. So rest in power to you, Rosie. I love you. And I hope you continue to watch over me and continue to watch me do great things. With that said, I am, all right, my man Hollow is in here. Thank you, Eileen, for the condolences. Thank you, Rob, for the condolences. All right. And yeah, I know Hollow, my man's from the Bay Area. I ain't gonna post your joint up. I already know. But shout out to my man Hollow Vegeta from the Bay Area. Constant supporter. Much love to you, brother. So it was a trying weekend for me. Yes, Eileen, she's definitely an ancestor now, for sure. Yeah, I was honored with a privilege of actually communicating with her on the astral plane. Her voice came in clear as day. Actually, before I even get into it, let's talk about that real quick. Y'all know, those who follow me say I don't want to be long, but this could turn into a 2-hour tirade. I do not want to do that tonight. I want to get to the point, but I will talk about this. when an ancestor, I haven't, me personally, no one close in my family, so far, besides my older sister, has passed away, right? She passed away from cancer, cervical cancer. I'm sorry, uterine cancer, right? And she was a Leo, strong-minded, strong woman. My memories of her are way more out outweigh any minor like bad memories by tons. And honestly, when you live this life and when you are in this particular meat suit, in this avatar, you want to give people your best. You want to have, when you pass away, people talk about you in a favorable manner. And I really don't have any bad words to say or any negative things to say about her. We all have our little ways here and there, but overall, like I said, the positive in her life outweighs the negative by tons. And when or if, I always feel like I'm never going to die, right? But this meat suit will expire or may expire. Technology may come and save me for the next 2,000 years. Who knows, right? But I always say I'm never going to die, right? But if this meat suit does for some reason expire earlier than it's supposed to, I do want to be remembered in a grand manner. And the only way you could do that is to treat people in a grand manner, treat people the way you want to be treated. At one point, she was my mother. At one point, she was my caretaker. At one point, she was my counselor. At one point, she was my best friend. I will miss her dearly, sorely, but I want to encourage you, people, as I always do, heal. One of the things that, as I use her life as a lesson, one of the things that she was struggling with was dealing with childhood trauma. Things that at her time, she didn't really have the tools to really handle and really take care of. So definitely do your shadow work. I've talked about this on this channel many, many, many times. Do your shadow work. Use the tools that I give you. I have many videos I'll talk about. I'm going to do a shadow work video just on shadow work in a very near future, right? Because I think that's necessary, and I just need to tackle that in one video and give you guys some tips and techniques to handle this shadow work. Besides the things I've already done in like 2-3 hour lives, but just a direct video for shadow work. And I also want to encourage you. My sister had OCD, serious OCD. My sister would get something like, she would get a book, right? And shout out to Lloyd Strahan. She would get a book, right? And if she got this book from the store, from Barnes and Nobles or whatever, even from Amazon, like she'll wipe the box down, right? And she's gonna wipe the books down and spray the book, right? It's bugged out, right? She would go to the grocery store and get a box of cereal, and she's gonna wipe down the box of cereal, right? Picture of Grace, whenever you saw her, she was manicured, well dressed, classy. You know what I'm saying? She would never be the woman that's, would be, even in her younger years, she would never be the woman that would be twerking online or anything like that, right? She wouldn't allow it. She was too much of a classy woman. But that was the outside, right? On the inside, she was eating her emotions. She was emotionally eating. And that's a problem that a lot of us have in our community, right? We eat our emotions. We eat our traumas. We eat to heal, right? Sugar is one molecule away from cocaine, right? The salts, right? To put those salts in our body, right? Is still a form. Salt, what does it do? It dries out the water in your body, right? So basically what you're doing when you're feeling like you need to eat a lot of salt or a lot of salty foods is you're basically not trying to feel your emotions. You're not trying to deal with whatever emotions that you have to work out. So she liked a lot of Chinese food, a lot of sodas, right? Just a lot of things that are basically carcinogenics to your body, right? Basically could devastate your body, right? A lot of things that she didn't need to be eating. So her outside looked good, the car looked good, the home looked good, right? The money looked good, the clothing looked, everything was, the hair, everything, the nails, everything was pristine, pristine, on point, always. Clean house, perfectly clean house, right? You could barely step in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You could barely touch anything in that motherfucker. She had OCD. You move some shit, she gonna push it right back, right? But the inside, right, was hurt. The inside was pain. Some of the things she would say was painful. Some of the things she would say about melanated people was filled with hurt, was filled with pain, right? the inner person she wasn't dealing with, you know. And I say this not to talk about her in a negative way, but just to use her life as a lesson to some of you as we start this new year of 2023, this 7 year, this God year, to really take care of yourself, your inner self, really nurture that. That's really what this year is about. We're going to go into it as I talk about it now. But I just wanted to, say, I say to her, Amen Ra to her. She is in the astral realm. She is dealing with the waters of Amenta. I have already communicated with her. She's doing fine. There's a transitional period for spirits when you pass away. So when I spoke to her and I heard her heavy, she was literally just passed, right? And she was in the transitional zone. What I'm doing as far as communicating with ancestors, we don't worship ancestors, okay? This is not an ancestral worship thing. This is not Christianity where when you give $1 to the pastor or whatever, you think that dollar is like for you to get blessings from God, right? That's not the case. Tithing, your whatever offerings you give to your ancestors is not just for you to receive a car or get a new boo or get a new home or get a new job or whatever other external thing that you want to get. It is literally so that you can tune into the voice of God. I want you to understand that. When people talk about the Holy Spirit, or people talk about speaking in tongues, even catching the Holy Ghost and then speaking in tongues, right? The goal is to be able to hear the voice of God, for you to be guided by the voice of God. That is a privilege, right? Me communicating with my sister in real time was the voice of God. Sometimes when I do readings for people, especially now that I'm clear and I've been doing readings lately, people's ancestors have been coming through. But I have made myself over these last couple of months, go back, see my videos, see my journey, right? I have been making myself more of a pure glass of water. I've changed my diet. I've stopped smoking trees. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm not saying this for my ego. I'm saying this because you can do it too. It's not that difficult, but you have to make changes and it is going to take time, right? It is going to take time. When the crab, or the scarab, right, or kepara, what the Egyptians would call the scarab beetle, not the crab, sorry, is moving. He puts his seeds in a ball of dung and he has to roll them over time, over the sunlight. He follows the sun. And once he plants those seeds, right? After he plants those seeds, it's a process though. He has to roll that ball of shit, right? Last video we talked about the Christ and bearing your cross, right? Being the three people on Golgotha, right? The two thieves, right? Which represent the two different hemispheres of the brain on Golgotha, where Christ was crucified or Jesus was crucified, right? Which is basically represents Christ consciousness, right? The one thief, he was worried about the material world. He was worried about the material world. So he wanted to see Jesus do a miracle and get off the cross. He was worried about the material world. The other thief was worried about, can I go to heaven with you, right? Can I access the higher consciousness, right? A lot of people get into this magical thing and study magic and study the occult and the esoteric so that they can learn how to bind somebody, so that they can learn how to control somebody, so that they can learn how to manipulate somebody. All these nefarious things. And because there's these Western occultists, right, like Aleister Crowley, who tell you, do what thou wilt, right? But these do what thou wilt people are, when you dig deep into them, they're pedophiles, right? They're people that like young boys, right? They're people that in depth talked about sleeping with young boys, these Western occultists. So we really got to be careful what philosophies, especially when we go into Gnosticism and some of these other philosophies, on what we are really repeating, what we are really following, who we are really following. Baphomet is popular right now, right? Baphomet is cool. You mess with Baphomet, I'm not a hater. But we have Ben Bajet. This is Baphomet, right? It's the same thing, but it's a remixed version. It's a Western version. We don't need Baphomet, really. We got Ben Bajet. You can make offerings to him, all that, right? You have literally Baphomet is a carbon copy of Ben Bajet, right? It's a carbon copy. So I'm saying this to say that when we are on this path, don't just use this path to manifest external things. This goes back to what I'm telling you about my sister, right? Don't just use it to look good on the outside. Looking good on the outside doesn't matter. When 2020, 19 hit, right? It didn't matter how rich you were. It didn't matter how much money you had. It didn't matter how big your mansion was. It didn't matter how much ice you had on your neck. It didn't matter if you had the baddest girl in the world. What mattered was, did you have the mental, spiritual, and physical fortitude to not take the hokey pokey? Did you have the mental, spiritual, and physical fortitude to survive no matter what? No matter what the odds were, and to manifest things during that time so that you could survive and maintain. There's a lot of people who didn't survive and maintain. There's a lot of people who crumbled and fell apart, right? There's a lot of people who were forced into, or thought they were forced into, taking a particular thing when they really didn't have to. The people that I know that pivoted are doing well now. I don't know anybody who pivoted from their career because they didn't take it and are not doing well. Okay? So I say all this to say that make sure your internal in 2023, that you are nurturing your internal fire. You are nurturing your internal chi. What the fuck ever it takes. Word to Malcolm X, by any means necessary. This is the type of year. It is going to be a chaotic year, okay? I'm going to do a video on The Dark Knight Returns. We're going to break down The Dark Knight Returns. I'm not doing it for free, though, because we need to break this video down and we need to watch it together. So you will watch it with me and we will break down The Dark Knight Returns. But there's a lot of things that are going to happen. I'm going to make it highly affordable, probably $7, right? And I ain't going to overcharge y'all, right? Going to be on Zoom. We're going to watch The Dark Knight Returns. And if you watch The Dark Knight Returns, you're going to see different things. One of the things that Bane does in The Dark Knight Returns is he messes up the financial system. That's one of the things that you're going to see this year, right? The financial system, the rich are going to become poor and the poor are going to become rich. Remember, they're instituting a new coin, a new digital coin, a CBDC, central bank digital coin. They're already right now are on the tail end of a 12-week trial program. I don't have slides. I'm not pulling those up today, but y'all know. Y'all should know by now who follow me, who know me. Rob Blackstorm got receipts, okay? So double check me, fact check me in the comments. If I'm wrong, I'll let you know, but this is all facts, right? They're running a 12-week trial right now. So we're at the tail end. So by the time February comes, right, and then March, there's going to be an astrological event where Saturn goes into Pisces. Okay, when Saturn Pisces, if you look at The Dark Knight Returns, I'm giving you guys some hints for those. Dark Knight, sorry, I said Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Rises with Bane. The Dark Knight Rises with Bane. You're going to look at the bomb, the nuclear bomb that they have, and it looks just like the astrological symbol of Pisces. Okay? Recently, they just figured out how to do nuclear fission in the lab. Okay? So there's going to be something catastrophic that happens this year that's going to shake people the fuck up, right? May happen here in New York City, right? In particular, Manhattan, where The Dark Knight Rises was filmed. Now, I have to rewatch the new Batman movie to get more gnosis, but I will do that before I do the Dark Knight Rises video for y'all. I will let y'all know when we're going to do it, but it's going to be very soon, most likely next week sometime. But I got a download, and my downloads have been hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, my downloads been hitting like motherfucking the number. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to present this to y'all. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So first and foremost, R.I.P. Gangsta Boo. Okay. Dead at 43. You know, it's interesting that her name is Gangsta Boo when we talk about the spiritual world, right? And we're talking about ghosts. We're talking about ancestors. We're talking about etheric beings, right? Just being in the name Boo, right? Or something that's scary, right? So Gangsta Boo is like two different scary things, right? And that feminine energy that has been kind of prevalent the last 5 to 10 years. Statistically speaking, women are the fastest growing prison population, melanated, so-called Black women, Black teenage women or teenage children, the female, are the fastest growing in the prison population. I'm going to say that 2 more times, like Dr. Umar, because a lot of people think because they have girls, they ain't going to be out here robbing, they ain't going to be out here shooting, they not going to be out here manipulated by a boy, or girls manipulating a boy to do a crime, right? because nobody's, I'm not playing the gender war with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I will not play the gender war with y'all at all. But a lot of people think that women are like sugar and spice and everything nice. Those things that's not what's happening right now, right? You got the love and hip hop generation. You got the reality show generation, right? You got the female rapper generations that's coming up right now. And they're hearing all these messages. They're listening to all these things. They're following these ideals and soundtracks. They want to wear Louis Vuitton too. They want to wear Balenciaga, right? They want to wear Versace, right? But they're 16, 17, just like the boys. How are they going to get it? Where are they going to get it? You know what I'm saying? So this gangster boo aesthetic has been prevailing for the last 5 to 10 years, right? When I was growing up, I ain't that old, but I'm old enough, right? And when I was growing up, the young women were not doing what the young women are doing now. You had the gangsters, of course. You always gonna have your thug misses, right? That's not gonna change as long as you have these impoverished urban environments, and as long as we are miseducated by people who don't look like us that are telling us that we are less than and worth nothing. As long as we are miseducated in these schools, as long as we are miseducated in colleges, as long as we are taught to think that the material world is more valuable than the inner world, the spiritual world. Justina, shout out to Justina. She says she's the queen of Memphis. Definitely, right? Gangsta Boo is a staple in Memphis, right? And also, thank you for saying that, Justina. Where's the hottest place in hip hop right now? The hottest place in hip hop is Memphis. Right now, I would say the hottest place in hip hop is Memphis, right? And she bears the number. Okay, Justina's rocking right now. Okay, I'm messing with you. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Justina. Okay, she was 43. Okay, Gangsta Boo was 43. So you got the 4 and the 3 adds up to what? Okay, somebody put the number in the comments. What does 4 and 3 add up to? I don't want to do all the work here. Oh shit! I don't want to do all the work here. I just spill on my water. Somebody put what 4 and 3 adds up to. This is simple, y'all. This ain't no hard math. 4 plus 3. What does that add up to? Somebody put that in the comments. 7, right? Thank you, Justina. 7, okay? Jackpot 7, exactly. So we're in the 7th year. And being in the 7th year, right, this aesthetic of where melanated girls are growing in this fast pace. See, it's very easy to talk about Osset, right, and Het Heru and her beautiful mirror, right, and Osset, the queen of the waters, and Oshun, the sweet waters of Oshun, right, and Ma'at and the principles of Ma'at and all this shit that we talk about, right? But in real life, though, what the fuck is happening? While babies are dying, okay? There's an article, New York Post article, 129 kids here in New York City died this year by violence. 129. If you break that down, that's almost 10 kids a week, rounding down in average. Not even rounding up, rounding down. That's almost 10 kids a week dying via violence, right? So something is happening and fracturing the family structure, right? So this Gangsta Boo aesthetic, and she died. They're saying that I just saw something about an hour ago that says she died allegedly of an overdose, okay, in this 7th year. So her dying of this overdose, right, is a reflection of what people are doing to numb themselves, right, in society, right? There was a post by Blue Pill, I believe, where he was just, talking about, he brought a post where people are talking about like how they want to slow down their weed consumption, right? Slow down their drug consumption. And that's the same wave that I got before he even posted it. The ancestors told me, yo, just like the ancestors told me before COVID-19 to change my diet, ancestors was like, yo, lay off this weed for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I got a specific timeline, right? Where I can't smoke at all, I'm honoring that because the benefits are far outweighing me smoking, period, point blank, right? The things I'm manifesting, the things I'm bringing in, the love, right? Everything is changing for the better, So I'm not a superhero, right? I'm just doing the work. You could do this shit too. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing. Even if you're not melanated, as long as you do enough work, you could outrun the melanated. And I'm telling this, probably saying this in front of all melanated people, but I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about race. It's about who does the work. It's about who does the work. If somebody who has a, it's like the rabbit, right? And the hare. You know what I'm saying? Once the rabbit took a nap, the rabbit say, "Oh, I'm a rabbit. I'm a 9 ether being." You know what I'm saying? I'm a 9 ether being. I have melanin. It's worth more than gold on the stock market. I'm a god. All this fucking philosophy, right? The rabbit. We like the rabbit. All this fucking philosophy. But who's outrunning the rabbit? The fucking hare. The fucking hare is outrunning the rabbit right now. Okay? So, and what's happening is we're having these dialogues, right? Another one of the things I want to talk about, we're having these dialogues about 50-50, who's going to go 50-50, who's high value man, who's a modern woman, right? Who's this, who's that? All these things that are separating the family. Okay? In 2023, there's going to be situations that you're going to wish you could go 50-50 with a man or a woman. There's going to be situations where you're going to wish you had a woman who had a little bit of attitude. You're going to wish you had a man that was a little bit arrogant. You're going to wish you had someone in your corner that understood the time and are able to help you, right? We just had these big snow freezes around, right? People frozen to death here in Buffalo, in New York, right? Freezing to death. People in all these other states, bootless, right? Pipes busting, dying, based off the cold, based off the weather changing, right? Time is moving faster, okay? That's one of the things I want to talk about, actually. Time is moving faster right now, okay? Scientifically speaking, right? I'm not talking off my ass. I'm talking based on the spiritual principles. Time is moving faster. So things are manifesting faster. The earth is changing. Are you prepared, right? Now, I'm not saying, people are in different situations and have different things that are happening, right? Life affects us all. You know what I'm saying? I've had my ups and downs, and I will continue. That's life. Life is not perfect. Everyone goes through ups and downs. But what separates the men from the boys, what separates the women from the girls, is who is doing the work, who has the power of who is able to utilize the power of their imagination to manifest things here in the physical world. This year is a 7-year. This year is fuck your philosophy. This year is what are you doing to bring God here on earth? This is bring God down or lay down, okay? Bring God down or lay down. Period. Point blank. Are you going to bring God down or are you just talking shit? Are you going to do the work or are you just going to be yapping? That's really what it is. Are you going to manifest the highest version of yourself? Or you're just going to keep talking and keep having philosophy and keep trying to one-up somebody that you think is smarter than you or think is not smarter than you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to align with the Christians. The Christians are going to have to align with the Muslims. The Muslims are going to have to align with the Jews. The Jews are going to have to align with the Sufis. The Sufis are going to have to align with the Masons. The Masons are going to have to align with the Catholics. You understand what I'm saying? This is not going to be an easy year. All right? This is not going to be an easy, comfy year. 2022, what happened? The beginning of the year was the Omicron. Everybody was scared to death. Mask on. Fuck it, mask on. Not mask off. Fuck it, mask on, right? Everybody had their mask on. Okay? Everybody was scared to death. They was getting jabbed left, right, center, right? Pushing the jab heavy, heavy, heavy. Now there's reports, legitimate reports from Pfizer, right, that the jab has caused blood clots. They admitted it because they have to. The devil has to tell you who they are, okay? They got to tell you who they are. That's part of the game. They can't hide it so they could avoid their karma, right? So if they tell you and you still do it, then it's on you. It's your free will. It's a way to avoid their karma. You think these occultists don't know what they're doing? These master occultists that y'all so scared of? They know what they're doing, but ain't nobody more masterful than you. Nobody. Not a soul is more masterful than you once you know who you truly are and have a true knowledge of self. and unveil and unlock your chakras. But it is a process. It is going to take time. It's not something you can rush. But you have to engage yourself in the study of yourself. And engaging yourself in the study of yourself is unlocking your traumas, facing your fears, right? It is your diet. What are you eating? What are you putting in your motherfucking mouth every day to cope? Do you have a fitness regimen? Do you have a study regimen? Okay? When you read, is your study simply composed of motherfucking YouTube and following speakers? Okay? If all you do is follow other men or other women, what the fuck do you need a partner for? So that they could follow other men and other women? What the fuck do you, if I'm following another man and his dream, what the fuck does my woman need me for? If I don't have my own dream? For you men out here. If you follow another man, what does she need you for? She needs that man. She needs that man. That's the thing about church. If you go, I feel like if you go to church with your woman, she's gonna eventually love the preacher. What she needs you for if eventually you're not gonna become the preacher or better than the preacher? So we on this hamster wheel of following because we were conditioned by another 7 who died, Pope Benedict the 16th. Okay, Pope Benedict the 16th died recently. He died on New Year's Day. Okay, 16 the 7th. Okay, so Pope Benedict the 16th adds to the number 7. Pope Benedict the 16th. Hold on, let me see. Do I have a picture of him up? This nigga looks like Emperor Palpatine. Because y'all wasn't born in that era. But no, I don't have a picture up. Hold up, young swole up. If you are here, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna be on fire all year, my nigga. All year, my nigga and my niggas, my Hispanics, my Caucasians, anybody who's here. All right. But I am on fire right now. So tap in, hit that, smash that like button. All right, let me share this with y'all and show y'all who this bastard is that passed away. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Queen Osemi, she said, hold on, I'm gonna share your comment in a minute because that's facts. Okay, so this is the guy that has been running the world. Okay, he ran the world for quite some time. I believe it was from 2000. It was up until 2013, and I believe it was from 2005. Emperor Palpatine, if you watch the Star Wars, okay? This is what this guy reminds me of and looks like, okay? Sick looking guy, right? He was the head of Christendom and Christianity, okay? During that time period, right, it was a very, very tumultuous time. Between that and, 2000, I believe 2013, he left. 2013. And when he left in 2013, what Emperor Palpatine was doing is, well, at that time, people thought the world was going to end, right? Based on the Mayan prophecy. So people were stacking up water, food, right? People were predicting that the world was going to end in 2012, right? I thought it, everybody thought it, the philosophers thought it, the teachers thought it. I ain't going to say no names, so I don't want to destroy none of y'all dreams of the people that y'all follow. But let's say 90% of the speakers that are here now, that was here back, that was back then, before there was the internet, before there was this, was telling us that 2012 the world was going to end according to the Mayan calendar, right? However, 10 years later, we see it's 2022, right? So 2022, now they're saying that that's the official end. Now, do I think the world is going to blow up and explode into 1 billion bits? No, right? That's not going to happen. But the old world is ending. What have you guys been seeing in media? Right? You guys have been seeing people get exposed left and right, right? Let's look at the most popular thing, Meg and Tory, right? What happened with Meg and Tory? Tory Lanez got exposed. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, man, if me saying that hurts you, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Okay? Tory did it. He admitted it on a jail phone that says literally when he picked up the phone, you were on a recorded line. Okay? This is the type of year that is happening, okay? We see that we found out that Adidas was owned by the Nazis, okay? I didn't know that. I got Adidas sitting here. I didn't know Adidas was built by Nazis, okay? I wouldn't be buying no fucking Adidas. But lo and behold,
We discovered Adidas was owned and discovered by Nazis. We discovered that Nike was a hypocritical piece of shit. Shout out to Jalen Brown for exposing the hypocrisy of Nike, right? We saw the hypocrisy of the Nets owner, Joe Tsai, saying that he wants these morals for the Jewish community, but yet he's oppressing the Muslim community in his country. He's oppressing the people in his country with these draconian laws and movements based on his billionaire status, right? So we seen what happened with Balenciaga, right? Being exposed for basically being a child trafficking organization, right? A front, well, allegedly, a front for a child trafficking organization, right? This is what my spirit team is telling me right now, okay? As I'm talking to you. So everything is coming exposed. A lot of you men, women have got exposed for cheating. Of course, that's not going to make the internet, right? But a lot of your relationships are crumbling. I see some of y'all statuses, right? New year, new me, right? You see all these people, Kim Bella, this narcissist term being thrown around, right? Kim Bella divorcing, leaving Jules Santana. Who else? Jim Jones, Chrissy telling Jim Jones she don't want to get married no more. Who else? There's somebody else that was just going through some divorce or separating shit. Delicious earlier with her dude from the Central Park 5, right? What you call it? Little Uzi Vert and homegirl from the City Girls, right? They split and separated. You see what happened to Young Miami, right? With Diddy getting embarrassed publicly, Diddy having another baby on her, right? Which even though he told her he was single, but still, there's levels of embarrassment when somebody's calling you a side chick in social media and people are chiming in calling you a side chick and basically talking and embarrassing you on a public platform. But you think it's all cool because, hey, you got a show out of it, right? I ain't seen Carisha Please since. Have you seen her? Have you seen Carisha Please yet? In the last couple of months? I haven't. Okay? So all these things that people are doing for materialism and for material looks and for external things and to prosper externally, yes, I am a hustler. I will tell you unapologetically, okay? Not a hustle where I manipulate people in the wrong way, but I know how to sell to people. I know how to sell products and items to people. It is my trade. It's what I do by trade, okay? It's what I do now to get money, okay? I know how to sell things to people. I know when y'all are being sold. I know when somebody's selling y'all some bullshit. I know when somebody is telling y'all, yo, buy my, money ritual, buy my prosperity this, buy my this and that, are things that you could do yourself. And it's not even that hard, okay? I've given y'all the Rue money candle to tap in to get your money up. You know what I'm saying? I've told y'all about taking these Rue money baths, okay? I'm not charging you for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. I'm abundant. Money comes to me easily. This is a mantra that I say on a regular basis. I'm going to keep saying this. I'm not saying this out of my ego. I'm telling you these are things that I do, and I'm telling you these are things that you could do as well. Okay? So when we talk about the return of the Kang, okay, let's talk about this number 7 a little bit. There's 7 days in a week. There's 7 notes on a musical scale. There's 7 chakras. There's 52 weeks in a year. That's the number 7. December 25th, where I just talked about Christmas, Christ being Papa Legba, right? The Santa actually being Santa Legba, right? And that actually being the solstices. My channel told me that the solstices, so the summer solstice, I'm going to be talking about Papa Legba again. I'm going to do another video on Papa Legba. And that his feast day, in this new cycle, where we're under a new space of time and we're on a new timeline, which is going back to the whole theology of Kang from the Marvel universe, Kang or the King, because Kang is a master of time. He's able to manipulate time, right? And that is one of his superpowers, and that will be the superpower of the melanated man in particular that taps into his divine essence, right? So December 25th, we were talking about Papa Legba, right? And the changing and the new timelines. So the new timelines are going to be his celebrations on the winter solstice as long as I'm here and alive. And I want y'all to take that and steal that from me, right? And on the summer solstice, that's when he will be honored. That's going to be his new feast day. I don't care what y'all Yoruba is and all that shit. I know what my channel is saying. Ashe. I know what my channel is saying, and it's on motherfucking point. All right. Holler to the ancestors, right? So, what we're talking about, there's 7 colors in the rainbow, right? If we talk about the chakra system, actually, let's pull up the chakras real quick, because I want to make sure that y'all know what I'm talking about. Those of you who may be neophytes to chakras, let's do this. Bong, bong. So here we go. All right. So when we're looking at these chakras, let me go to this page. So looking at these chakras, these 7 chakras, right? There is a I forget the Bruce Lee movie. Hold on, let me pull it up on another. Give me 1 second. There's a Bruce Lee movie where he deals with these 7, just in case. There's also a movie on Netflix right now, but I didn't finish it, so I'll talk about it. But yeah, Enter the Dragon, right? When you talk about Enter the Dragon, I believe it's Enter the Dragon, where he's going through these 7 different stages of basically spiritual development, right? But we could use, if you guys saw Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man was dealing with what? The Sinister Six, okay? Each member of the Sinister Six represents a different chakra. The lizard represents the root chakra. Doc Ock actually represents the third eye chakra. The throat chakra is represented, the heart chakra is represented by Jamie Foxx, Electro. The sacral chakra is, I'm trying to think of all of them, bear with me. The sacral chakra is the Sandman. Remember, the Sandman, all he wanted to do is see his daughter, right? That was his main thing. And you think of the sands or the sands of time, right? I'm sorry, the solar plexus chakra represents Electro. Sorry, Jamie Foxx. Who else? Who else was in that? Who else was in there? The Green Goblin actually represents the heart, right? In the movie The Green Goblin, No Way Home, he was the last person to be healed, right? Because usually before you hit the higher chakras, it's the heart that has to be healed, right? You could heal your root chakra. You could be a person that is secure, right? You don't deal with any fear. This is common in our community, especially melanated beings that come up in harsh urban environments, right? Or any other being who comes up in a harsh environment, right? It could be, you could be of any color, creed, or class. You have extreme childhood trauma, extreme childhood abuse, childhood neglect, XYZ, right? Or you're born with spiritual abilities and you're born through parents who just don't understand your spiritual abilities, right? So you may be blocked. So you may be dealing with fear, you may be dealing with survival, and in turn, right, what you do is you put on a mask, right, to deal with these things. You put on a mask like Bane, you put on a mask like Darth Vader, right, to deal with your childhood trauma. And I will get into that in another video because that's another story for another day. But we're dealing with survival, right? So when you're dealing with trying to survive, you end up trapped in the root chakra if you are fearful of the future. This is a process, right? These 7 chakras also have 7 tones, okay? There's 7 tones to the 7 chakras. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? There's 7 different tones and 7 different frequencies that you can use to unblock your chakras. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go through each frequency, but this is something you could do right now. Take a second, go on Google, type in 7 frequencies for 7 chakras, okay? I want to Danielson you, okay? Wax on, wax off, okay? I know everybody out here is just spoon feeding y'all the information, but at some point, you have to take it upon yourself to learn the information for yourself so you can know it. Not just philosophize, not just regurgitate, but have knowledge of self, have a true knowledge and an understanding. See, a lot of people have knowledge, right? I could have came up here, read something real quick, and regurgitated it, right? But to have an understanding is a totally different process. Now, with that understanding, now you have a culture, you have a way of life. It's now part of your tissues, it's part of your biorhythm, right? It's part of your circadian rhythm. It's what motivates you through your day and night. You become one with this universe that you are with, and the knowledge is now applicable instead of just theoretical. We, as a community, the melanated beings, we have a lot of theoretical knowledge, right? But the people in the 1800s, in the Nat Turner era, right, in the era of Elijah Muhammad, right, in the era of, well, Elijah Muhammad was the 1900s, but the Nat Turner era, right, those eras where there was right, people coming in the Reconstruction era, right, the late 1800s, early 1900s, there was more progress, the Black Wall Street and all these things. There was more actual tangible process than there is now, right? The reason that we are limited, a lot of us, is because we are stuck in the last chakra. We're stuck in survival mode, okay? So the return of the king is going to return with people being brave. You're going to see people exhibiting bravery, right? You're going to see people stepping out on a limb to help people. You're going to see people sacrificing their lives to help women and children, right? These are the people that are caught up in this new cosmic alignment and this new, as they say, the quickening that is happening right now, because the planet is quickening. The energy is changing. You can see through the environment, what they're calling global warming, right? You can see through the different weather patterns. Even the birds are moving in a different way, shape, form, or fashion, okay? So that's the root chakra. So you have to deal with your fears. You have to face your fears. You have to take risks, okay? You have to take risks. You have to realize and get out of survival mode. There are a lot of things, and one of the things you could do, we're the most musical people on the motherfucking planet, okay? We love music. We debate and philosophize about different musicians, okay? All the time. Who's better, Jay-Z or Nas, right? Who's the better singer, Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey, right? Who's the better this? Who's the best that? R.I.P. to Whitney Houston, and R.I.P. to Mariah Carey's voice. That shit is gone, right? But we're debating about who is doing what to who, okay? We have to come to a space to where we are now utilizing these frequencies and these tones. Matter of fact, after this, I'm gonna pop out the tones. I'm gonna find one of them tones for y'all, so y'all could just quick take a picture of it, right? But do the work, okay? So if you want to heal from your survival mode, one of the things you're gonna have to do, and I don't want to spend too long because this ain't a chakra video, but one of the things you want to do, and I'm strictly just giving you tones, right? Tap into these tones, these frequencies, all right? And I'll pull up a slide for it shortly. The sacral chakra, okay, it deals with pleasure, right? It's blocked by guilt. A wise woman that I love once told me a little while ago that guilt is a useless emotion, okay? Guilt is a useless emotion. What do you need to be guilty for, okay? You're guilty, like, you know where guilt manifests, y'all? Guilt manifests in when you're saying, I coulda, I shoulda, if I only, man, at the top of the year, if I woulda, last year, if I woulda, when I was a child, if I had different parents, you know, when I was, you know, if I only, things like that. The future is in the now. The past is a lesson, but the past is gone. 2022 is gone. It's gone, player. It's gone. It's gone. It ain't coming back. Whoever was left in the past, whatever was left in the past, you got to let it go. You can't be guilty about what happened. You can't feel guilty about the people that you encountered, the relationships that you had. The relationships that you had, even if they were bad, even if they were terrible, even if you've been through something super traumatic, you have to ask yourself, what was the lesson in it? How can you protect yourself so that you don't fall into that environment? And protecting yourself doesn't mean that you close yourself off into the world and go into isolation, because you're going to have to deal with people, right? The only way, I was reading the article, actually, let me pull it up, because I was reading this today, and it said, let me do this real quick. I was reading this article today, and it said, let me pull it up. Hold on, y'all. Again, smash that like button here. But yeah, Eileen, we can't, shoulda, woulda, what if only. That will keep you, that blocks your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is your sacred energy, all right? Your secret energy, your secretions, right? That's where your creativity comes from, right? A lot of obviously our creativity is blocked. Okay. Well, let me not say that our creativity isn't blocked, right? Our creativity is being used by other people because the other chakra is the solar plexus, which we'll get into shortly. But let me pull this up. Bear with me. Again, I'm channeling, so a lot of this stuff is just coming to me. So screenshots, okay. So this is an article. It was a study on the study was on happiness, okay? So it says, if you're going to make one single decision that would ensure your own health and happiness, the science tells us that it should be to cultivate warm relationships of all kinds. It's not just having a partner, it's in every realm of your life, okay? When your sacral chakra is open, right? Let's go back into the deities, right? Let's go back into the deities. Let's talk about Oshun. When your sacral chakra is open, and that energy is flowing, those are the sweet waters of Oshun. That means if I step into Target and I see the lady at Target has a bad mood, guess what? I crack a joke. I try to make her laugh, right? That means during the pandemic, when everybody's stressed out, I try to be the light. I try to be the sweet waters of Oshun. What does Oshun have in her hand? Oshun has in her hand in a mirror, right? The mirror, you think the mirror is for vanity. The mirror is your reflection. The mirror is your reflection. Okay? Everyone that you meet is a reflection. The Kemetic name for Oshun is Het Heru. Het is house. Heru is the gonads, right? Or the testes of a man. It is that energy, that sacral energy, right? The house of sacral energy or the house of sacred energy. You call it vaginal juice, you could call it semen, right? But it's the house of that energy, that chi energy, that ra energy, that prana energy, right? If that thing is blocked, okay, that thing is blocked. Oh, I got rid of the whole screen. Let's go back to it. If that thing is blocked, okay, you not living life with pleasure, right? What is Newport? The Newport, right? It says life with pleasure, all right? Alive with pleasure. Now, obviously, a Newport is not going to give you a life with pleasure. Over time, it's actually going to kill you. One thing I want to do that's Spirit's telling me to tell you about is leave. Even if you look, I'm not saying you got to quit everything today. Like I'm saying, this is a process right here. Okay, it takes time. But if you're smoking Newports, switch brands. Smoke the brand. Smoke a menthol brand that white boy smoke. Go to Marlboro menthol. Go to Camel Crush. Don't smoke Newports. Okay, till you can wean yourself off. I know it tastes different. I know those Newports taste great. I've been on them. I'm not a judge. I'm not here to judge anyone. What I am saying is these things are chemically engineered. You think they don't know niggas smoke Newports more than anybody else? You think they don't know niggas smoke menthol more than anybody else? Go research a study about menthol cigarettes and melanin. And you'll realize that menthol actually binds to the melanin polymer much easier than it does to any other being on the planet. That's why your ass likes Newports. That's why your ass likes menthol cigarettes, okay? Cigarettes on the whole are toxic as fuck. I don't need to go into that. But if you got to and you need to, smoke another brand. Smoke a brand that the white boys smoke. You know what I'm saying? Don't smoke that motherfucking Newports. Get off that shit in 2023. They engineering your death, okay? I smoked a Newport the other day. That shit damn near killed me. All right? That shit was fucking harsh. You know what I'm saying? Harsh as fuck. They're different than they were even 5-6 years ago. Remember, these are the last days of the devil's rule, so to speak. These are the last days of the domination of the Caucasian, all right? These are the last days of manifest destiny. This is the year of the Kang. And the Kang doesn't necessarily mean men. I'm talking about masculine energy, right? The energy of spirit, the energy of rising up, right? The Dark Knight, again, when I do the video, y'all see, right? But in the Dark Knight, what did he have to do? Those who saw the Dark Knight Rises with Bane, he had to rise up out of that tunnel, okay? And it was a process. He didn't just do it in one day. and it was something he had to do. Okay, so if you want to be alive with pleasure, you got to get rid of that guilt. Okay, you got to get rid of thinking what if, what should have. The future is now. The future is now. Whatever you want to manifest, visualize it. Put it in your stream of thought and consciousness, feel it, and do it repetitiously. Okay, the same way you thought that Jesus was a real person and he was going to come down and save you, the same way you thought Allah was going to, if you die, Allah, you're going to meet a billion versions, right? The same way you thought Christopher Columbus discovered America. How did you learn all this shit? Through repetition. So it takes a daily practice, right? I understand. Let me calm down. Okay. So I'll be here for 4 hours. Y'all know that. These the solar plexus chakra, right? What does it deal with? Willpower. Okay. This is a process. Okay. You're not going to get all of these in one day, but each day you should be working on these things so that eventually the chi can rise. The sacral is really a big thing because a lot of us think we're not scared, you know, we tough, we gangsters, right? RIP gangster boo, right? We gangsters, you know what I'm saying? Even our ghosts are gangsters, even our spirits are gangsters, right? Those of you who practice, right? I'm gonna send Cali at you. I'm gonna send this at you, right? But inside, you know, you're a scared little hoe. You know what I'm saying? Male or female, you're a scared little hoe inside yourself, right? So you got to deal with your inner courage, right? What is it that you're scared of? And what is it that you need to take into a meditative script so that you could get this sacral, the secretion, these things flowing through your endocrine system? It's not just, again, this is not just philosophy. Truth has to be lived. Truth has to be lived. It can't be just talked about in 2023. And there's consequences if it is. Now, so it says we're dealing with the solar plexus chakra, right? So this is blocked by shame, okay? There's a lot of you that have great dreams, great visions, great philosophies, great art, great designs, great business plans, great business ideas. Some of you are architects, some of you are designers, some of you are best plotters and planners, best strategics, most strategic people on the planet, right? And you're using it for evil, or you're not using it at all, or you're scared to start a YouTube channel, or you're scared to start your podcast, or you're scared to put yourself out on the internet, or you're scared to change who you are. Rob Blackstorm is giving you the permission today to change who you are today. Okay? What's happening tomorrow? I think Venus is going into something. There's some astrological thing happening. Hold up, y'all. Because y'all going to get this work today. I ain't playing with y'all. Y'all going to get this work. We purging today. We purging today. Y'all going to get this work today. Y'all going to get this work. So Venus is going into Aquarius, okay? Venus is going into Aquarius. So Aquarius is the collective. Venus is love, right? So your love for the collective is your gifts, okay? I posted something on my Facebook today, Watson Rob. You go on my Facebook and follow me, okay? Watson Rob. You can go on my Facebook. That's going to change next week, but I'm going to go to a new page next week. But for now, y'all can go there, follow me till I change the page, okay? Y'all can follow me also on RA_Blackstorm. RA_Blackstorm. I drop gems every day. Those who follow me already know, okay? Now, the shame is the fact that you don't want to be who you truly are. You are running, okay, from your destiny. I have done this for years, okay? I've run from my destiny for years. Oh, you know, I don't want to do the work. Plain and simple. I didn't want to do the work. I didn't want to take the sacrifices necessary, right? I didn't want to not be cool in front of my friends. I didn't want people to talk about me negatively. I didn't want to be challenged for my ideas, right? I didn't want to be misunderstood. I didn't want to be mislabeled. I didn't want people to view me as a hotep. I didn't want people to view me as a demon worshiper as far as being an occultist. I didn't want people to view me as odd, as weird, right? But guess what? Some of y'all are fucking odd and weird, and you got to fucking accept it. You got to accept it. It is what it is. Okay? This is the year of it is. We talk about we're in the age of Aquarius, the age of the collective, right? Venus is the heart. Let's go into the heart. So the shame, right? You got to deal with your will. You got to be willing to be courageous. Okay? We stay here real quick. We got to be willing to be courageous. This is part of that Kang energy. This is part of you stepping out into your true self. This is not just mental work, just mental alchemy, right? Shout out to Dreamwise. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying this is not mental alchemy. This is actually going from the mental into the physical, right? It's a 7-year, a God year. There's 7 days in a week. There's 7 colors right here, the 7 primary colors of the rainbow. In the occult, there's 7 primary planets. The sun, oop, I took to drop my mic. Hold up, y'all. The sun, the moon, right? Sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Okay, 7 original planets, all right? And, and the things we've already talked about, right? So it said what? God created the earth, right, in 6 days, and he rested on the 7th, okay? So the 7th, when you rest, is when you go up here to your highest chakra. So let's go to love, okay? Love deals with love. It's blocked by grief. I love this. I didn't, this just came up. I say to the ancestors, love is blocked by grief, okay? So your grief is what will hold you back. Remember in Spider-Man No Way Home, for those of you who saw it, which is why I say he's the Green Goblin, right? 1, he killed Aunt May. 2, his trauma happened when his father died. Okay, when his father or somebody died, I forget, but somebody died in the original Spider-Man, and that's what set him off. That's what turned him into the Green Goblin. So it's blocked by grief. Okay, grief. People don't like people. People don't want to connect with people. Why people don't want to connect people? Because they can't trust people. That's understandable. But guess what? We're blessed with the internet. Hallelujah. Rejoice. Everything's lit. We're lit. You're lit in 2023. You have the internet. My sister, rest in power to Rosie, she did not have the internet. She did not have all these tools. She did not have the means to connect with people. Okay? You have the ability to seek people out and connect and do your due diligence to harness your own chakra system through whoever teachers or whoever people you follow so that you can learn to figure out who to love, because it is a process. You got to get out of survival mode. So you're not dealing with being broke. You're not dealing with, wanting to bind someone, wanting to put somebody under spirit possession, scared of the underworld, look, I had a mushroom trip, I told y'all, right? On Christmas Day, where I went to Legba Land. Do you know I saw some of the one of the tests I was put through, they telling me now, okay, so I can't tell y'all everything. But let's just say I was put through various stages of test, right? And one of the tests was that I had to endure seeing various H.P. Lovecraftian monsters, right? Very scary looking monsters, scary looking, what you would call, some of you would call it demons, right? And I had to just see them flashing, coming at me in aggressive manners. And one of the tests was I had to stay calm. I had to stay very calm, right? And I heard the voice, right? Which is really the goal to this, right? I heard one of the goals, the voice in my head, which they call Tahuti in Kemet, which you may call Hermes in occultism, right? I heard one of the voices, which is the messenger, right? Hermes is the messenger, which is where the Nike symbol comes from. It comes from Mercury, the messenger. Hermes. Fuck Hermes. Fuck Hermes Trismegistus, by the way. Fuck them crackers, niggas, right? They crackers to me. Fuck them. I deal with Tahuti, or I'd even deal with Thought, because they took that from the Greeks and it sounds like Tahuti. But I'm not. Fuck Hermes and fuck Hermes Trismegistus. Fuck anything hermetic except a hermetically sealed motherfucking cap that's on my motherfucking vitamins. All right. We got our own gods. We got our own gods. We got our own deities. We don't need their shit anymore. All right. So the unblocking the heart chakra is you got to deal with love. Okay, you have to not be scared. You got to get out of your survival so that the energy can flow, right? So that you could live life with pleasure, so that you could feel joyful. It is a process. It takes time. Okay, but you can do it. It's not good. And now we're in the quickening. It's going to be manifesting even faster, because the things that you're going to think, you're going to see them manifest, positive or negative. Okay, it's that type of year. You're going to see them manifest, but there is going to be an event. Okay, I'm preparing you guys. Okay, there's going to be an event that's going to shake everything up. A couple of events, because it's a 7-year, right? It's gotta happen, right? This is not an easy process. The things I'm bringing up are triggering some of you right now. Okay, so love, right? Your grief is that you can't trust people, but again, you have the privilege of, and this, if you look at this symbol, right, it's a U. Okay, it is a something that holds something, right? That U symbol, or that understanding, right? This is like understanding, you standing under something, right? And the unders, like people say overstanding. Well, no, right? You're understanding, because you can't stand over. That's like me saying I'm standing over the truth. Well, if I'm standing over the truth, then I'm in the lie, right? If I'm standing over my children, then I can't understand them, right? I can't say, oh, I was 12 once, I was 19 once, I was 8 once. I'm going to do something stupid. So I can't yell at them and call them stupid. I can't call them a dummy, right? I can't scream on them in the street. I can't say they're good for nothing. All these things that parents tell their kids, right, on a day-to-day basis when they get angry, because they don't have the understanding to go back and the love to go back to when they were children, because it's blocked by grief, it's blocked by stress, it's blocked by trauma. Grief is another word for trauma. So you can't love, you feel like you can't be with someone, you feel like you can't connect with a loved one, you feel like you can't deal with someone because of your grief of past relationships. But if you find the lessons in the past relationships and let go of the grudges, then your heart becomes light as a feather, right? Your heart, which is again this heart chakra you're dealing with, my aunt, it becomes light as a feather. You're able to feel different things. You're able to feel if somebody's a sucker, if somebody's a snake. You get spiritual abilities where you'll get clairsentience. So when you touch somebody, you'll be able to sense their energy instantly. Some of y'all were born with those powers. Okay, some of you were born with different spiritual abilities. Some people, I was talking to my homegirl Jillian a couple of days ago. We was talking about mysticism or whatever, and she was talking about she has a friend who she works at with, and how this friend is, whenever she gets stressed out about something, something breaks. Car breaks, windows break, right? Shit breaks down, right? Whenever she gets upset. That's psionic power. That's psychic power, right? She has an ability, she has psychic abilities. But she's like, I'm trying to tell her this, and she can't, she still think it's the devil. She thinks it's the devil. She thinks it's the demons. She's talking about she's going to get an exorcism on New Year's Day. What she needs is a motherfucking Rob Black Storm. What she needs is a chi master. What she needs is somebody that's going to guide that energy and tell her what she needs to do to unblock, so that she doesn't, so that she understands that there are no such things, right? Are there evil entities? Absolutely. Are there evil things and evil ancestors? Absolutely. Right? Those things exist. I'm not saying they don't exist. What I am saying is you dominate all of them. What I am saying, you are here to subdue the earth. What I am saying, all the books tell you that. You're more powerful. You control all these things if you have the ability and the bravery to do so. If you're not dealing with fear, if you're not dealing with guilt, if you're not ashamed of who you are, if you go into the spirit world and the astral world before you go to bed with a suit of armor, you could fight all these things off, right? Now, there's certain things in certain people's houses, right, where they need exorcism. They not necessarily exorcism, but you need to cleanse it, so to speak, right? You need to burn certain herbs, right? You need to have certain scents. You need to have certain frequencies playing, right, where you will decolonize your house from any entity, because you are the most powerful thing here on the planet. The angels are jealous of you. The entities that are quote unquote demonic are jealous of you. The evil ancestors are jealous of you. The good ancestors are jealous of you, because you have the ability to interact with this world, right? Being mortal is a privilege, not a prison. It is a privilege to be here. It is a privilege to have the experience, right? It's a privilege to on a nice sunny day to be sitting by the water, sipping whatever your favorite drink is, you know, feet kicked up, sun hitting your face, right? With nice, perfect 75, 80-degree weather. Life is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You're on vacation. You got a pocket full of money. Life is beautiful, right? Beautiful woman, beautiful man by your side. Life is beautiful. Nobody says it's a prison planet then. It's only people that are stuck in the struggle and poverty and stuck in self-hate that perpetuate that prison planet idea, okay? So there's a lot of beauty here if you know where to look and if you are doing the work within yourself, gaining your knowledge of self so that your mind set is set on those things, on viewing those things. Perception is controlled by you. You control your perception. Let's continue going because y'all know, I'm already almost at an hour and a half, all right? Truth. Let's go to the throat chakra. Truth, okay? Truth is blocked by lies. Let me see what y'all saying because I didn't see y'all. Okay. Truth is blocked by lies, okay? So, truth is blocked by lies. I got to go back. All right. Truth is blocked by lies. So, you have to be honest. A lot of y'all been lying for a long, long time to yourself, mostly. Your self-talk is the most important talk that you will have. Not what you tell others, not how confident you talk, not how dope you sound, not how amazing and how philosophical and how greasy and slick you talk, right? It is, what are you living? Truth, your throat chakra gets unblocked not only by what you say outside, but what you say inside. What you say, everything starts from the inside out, including you. Okay? Including you. You started from the inside out. You started from your daddy's nutsack, because people like to say, oh, you started just in the womb. No, you started from your daddy nutsack. That sperm cell is literally your brain, and the tail of the sperm is your spinal cord. Okay? Scientifically validated. So you came from your daddy's nutsack, and then you were incubated in your mama's belly. Okay, I'm not gender warring y'all. I'm just telling y'all what it is. So nobody has this feeling of supremacy. Oh, you came from women. We all came from women. No, you came from your daddy's nutsack first, and then you were incubated in your mother. Both play a role. Male and female are God. You create God. Okay, this gender war shit, even amongst the spiritual community, is crazy to me. Right? It's all ego. It's all ego. Everybody wants to be the top dog. Why? Because we're still in the root chakra, dealing with survival, right? Dealing with fear, right? Dealing with shame. Oh, I've been shamed as a woman. Oh, I've been shamed as a man. Oh, this person hurt me. Oh, that person hurt me. Oh, daddy hurt me. Oh, mommy hurt me. Oh, these different relationships we have. So because of that, we store within our body. This is why the sacral chakra and the pleasure chakra, and this is why you have to go into your meditations with this meditation script, write this shit down and remix certain events in your life so that when they come up in your memory banks, they are light as a feather. It's not to absolve anyone. And sometimes you can't go to those dark places. If you can't go to those dark places, that's when you get a motherfucking, this ain't a doll, but you get a doll that represents that, right? You get a doll, and the same way you played with a doll, or you played with some toy, right? You put that energy into that doll, you put that energy into that toy, right? And you basically use that toy and you heal and you make that person whatever that person was, and whatever that person did to you, and you heal using, that's what the Orishas and all that shit is about, right? It's about using these different totems and items as vortexes. An altar also is a vortex, right? Using these items as vortexes for growth development, not just an exchange of things so that you could get more things. Okay? I'm not against things. I'm not against using magic for things. But when we talk about the tree of life, right, that still is very low level, right? That you're still dealing with these bottom three chakras. All you manifestation, prosperity preaching, do magic, right? All that shit is still down here. Real talk. It's still down here. You could do all that shit, manifest all the physical things here in the world. Car, money, millions, trillions, billions, right? The wicked do it, the righteous do it. Okay, we see that. We all got Instagram and the internet. Okay, but you're still down here. You could still get all that and still got no love and still get no love. You know how lonely it is? I remember I had, man, look, had a, I ain't gonna go there because I'll be here all day. But so truth, okay? Speak your truth to people. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Speak your truth. Talk your talk. Walk your walk. And your truth is not trying to convert a motherfucker. Your truth is not trying to tell somebody how great you are. Your truth is not you putting yourself on a higher pedestal. Some of you are in relationships and you and your man or you and your woman are in competition with each other. No, it's supposed to be coexisting. You're supposed to be complementing each other, not in competition for who's the top dog, not in competition, but complement. Communication in a relationship, not yelling, not screaming, not antagonizing each other, not talking down to each other. Communication. I'll give you another key. You want to know if somebody's on your side, that you're dating, that you're in a relationship with? Here's what you do tonight. Here's what you do tomorrow. When you hang around them, you go around your boo, you go around them, here's what you're going to do. You're going to talk about yourself in the best fucking way possible. You're going to big up yourself. You're going to talk about yourself like you're the greatest thing next to sliced bread. See what they say. See how they look. Watch their body language. That'll tell you all you need to know if they're in your corner or not. They start talking shit or try to tell you to talk down to yourself or try to tell you you're too arrogant or you're too bold or you're too confident or you're too cocky, right? And I'm not talking about excessive, right? There's a level of you. Everything has to be balanced, right? Shout out to Thanos. Everything should be balanced, as all things are, right? But you have to have a level of where you're able to speak about yourself, especially to somebody you call your loved one, somebody you call your boo, somebody you call, shout out to Gangsta Boo, rest in peace, somebody you call somebody that you ride or die with, right? You want to be able to speak about yourself in a confident manner and them not down you. Why sleep with the enemy? For what? Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? When we just, again, had 2020 and people was dying, they couldn't take none of that they Balenciaga with them. They couldn't take their Louis with them. They couldn't take their Rose with them. I worked in the hospital before all this shit hit in 2020, right? And I've seen rich people pass away with nobody there. You know how it is for somebody to have a big-ass room in the hospital and nobody comes to visit them, but the guy, me at the time, just turning on and off the TV? Do you know how sad that is? And the guy just wants to keep you, the guy or the lady just wants to keep you there to talk because they have nobody else to talk to and they know they're on their last leg. Do you know how sad that is? Kids, family trying to scrape every fucking dollar they can from them. Trying to take everything they can at their last, just wants to take from them and take from them, but not give anything. Do you know how sad that is? Do you know what kind of asshole you had to be to have nobody come visit you and you're a millionaire, multi-millionaire? Your own kids don't want to see you on your last days? Don't sacrifice your soul, man. You know what I'm saying? That's soul sacrifice. Yeah, we talking about people selling their souls and shit. That's selling your soul. Don't not live your dreams, okay? Because you're scared. Insight, okay? Insight, illusions. This is your third eye chakra, okay? So your illusions are that you aren't God here on earth. Your illusions are that the white man is so much smarter than you, that he has the ability to run the world, that you'll never be able to have another leader that looks like you. You'll never be able to start businesses because of Black Wall Street. The Illuminati, the secret societies, they have so much more magic than you. They know so much more than you. They have so much more secrets. The internet is open, my people. It's open. It's free for now. You could access all the information. If you want to study the secret societies, the information is out there. If you want to know the handshakes, the information is out there. If you want to know the postures, the information is out there. It's not hidden. We're in the age of information, and we're in the age of Aquarius, the water bearer. So shit is spilling out. Okay, you see people, you see the Kanye and Kyrie saga, right? Which one of the most powerful communities, Judaism, one of the top branches of motherfucking Christendom, right? The three Abrahamic religions are Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Okay, all of them tell you to believe in a thing outside of yourself. That is an illusion, right? This doesn't say outsight or eyesight, right? It says insight. What is your inner vision telling you? Quantum physics states that reality is not a reality until the observer observes it. So until I look at this camera, when I turn to this side, the camera doesn't exist. When I turn this way, the camera now exists. But it's not a reality until I observe it, until I say this camera is real. Okay, that's when it is real. So the reality, now of course there's a tangible reality and there's an inner reality, but your inner reality is the most dominant, right? Because some people will look at a camera and say, oh, it's a piece of shit, or oh, I don't want to use it, or oh, I don't know how to use it, or my face looks like this, or look at my eyes, look at my head, look at this, look at that, look at that. See everything negative about themselves so that they don't know what they want when what they're here to do. They don't live their God purpose. So that is illusion. Lastly, cosmic energy, okay, is blocked by ego attachment. All right. So cosmic energy is what you talk about, your downloads. Okay. This is your crown. Okay. This is really the time of the crowning. Okay. This is the time of the hippocampus. This is the time of the hippocampus. And the hippocampus is literally this, what they call Ammon's horns. And they're literally two horns in your brain that literally go like that. Okay. So when you talk about Aries, you're talking about that Ram energy. Okay. That is the time of Aries, is the time of spring. That's when the real new year, right? The world new year, or the spiritual new year starts, right? Now, the new year, I know we got New Year's, and I know it's serious. You know, I know everybody got all the information, right? New Year's, Sirius is rising. Yes, right now, Sirius is at its highest. So it is a good time to manifest. It is, a lot of your speakers will be channeling. A lot of your speakers will be speaking a lot of truths to y'all because what is happening. However, right, you have to get to this point to where you're able to download this energy so that you can channel. Okay. Some people are born with this ability. All right. Most of us earn it. Okay. And you're able to do this by, again, not having an ego attachment. Now, what is an ego attachment? We all have an ego. Okay. We all have an ego. Your ego is what you need to survive. All right. Your ego is telling me, it's going to tell you, I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get the job. I'm going to be the best father, the best mother, the best husband, the best wife, right? I'm going to make sure my baby is taken care of. I'm going to make sure my honey is taken care of. I'm going to make sure my family is good. I'm going to reach certain financial pinnacles. I'm going to create a plan. Those are all positive aspects of the ego. The negative aspects of the ego, you guys all know what they are, right? One of them is narcissism, right? Narcissism is energy, just being plain and simple, being a narcissist is being an energy vampire. It's a world that's thrown around that a lot of people don't even understand what the fuck they're talking about. Okay. They're just talking narcissism. Okay. It's just being an energy vampire and a gaslighter. Best way to understand gaslighting is Shaggy song. It wasn't me. Okay. Shaggy song. It wasn't me. That's gaslighting 101. If you want to explain gaslighting to somebody, that's all you have to tell them. Listen to Shaggy song, it wasn't me. That's what gaslighting is. Somebody just trying to delude you, that telling you what's real, what isn't real. But as you go on this path and you go on this spiritual path, right, and you get to this point where you're starting to form and develop, there's usually three things that happen. I'm going to close this out. And we're going to continue the lecture. Cooley High said, I love these hocus pocus channels. What's the science to back these up? I'm glad you're here, sir, so I could demolish you a little bit. So there is something called the endocrine system where there are several glands, right? These glands are tied to your chakras. Each gland has a different function. You also have 12 cranial nerves, sir, which are concurrent with the 12 signs of the zodiac, which are zodiac, different animal principles. The animal principles are what you call demons, right? Or what you would call the and you also have 12 months of the year, right? You have 12 cranial nerves. Each nerve does a different thing, right? Now, how do you get the energy up to your cranial parts? Mr. Cooley High, smart guy, right? Book reading guy, left brain guy, guy on the other side of motherfucking of the Christ who got to see the Christ do a miracle, right? How do you get there? You need energy, you need chi, you need ra. Where does that come from? That comes from your lower center, right? It comes from your motherfucking nuts. It comes from your ovaries, right? This is where you get that energy. This is where you get that chi. It has to be a biochemical process that forces that. It's a secretion. So this energy rises up the spine, Kuni High, when you do certain practices, such as meditation, such as tantra, when you eat foods that are green-based, that have sunlight in them, light-based foods, right? So that's how you get, Mr. Cooley High, your abracadabra, okay? So there's the science to back up these claims. You're fucking with the right one today. Now, before I block you, get the fuck out of here. So, as I was saying, where was I? So, who's this guy? He said, who's this? Are you guys coming? Bro, you look like Yakub, first of all, with this big ass head. All right, I got to roast you a little bit. Second of all, you're talking about where did the first nut sack come from? If this is not the most stupid comment, the stupidest comment I've ever read in my life on the internet, I've never read a dumber comment than this. What does it matter? With all that I'm talking about, your focus is on where the first, and you call yourself supreme. See, people like you are going to get purged in 2023. People like you are going to get sick out of nowhere. People like you, unfortunately, maybe fortunately, if you're supposed to, you're going to be put in a prison cell, right? Because you need to sit down, do your research, do your study, do your healing so that you could get a true understanding of who and what you are. Why would you ask a question like this when I'm talking about spiritual development and everything I'm saying makes sense? Come on, bro. What's wrong with you? So let's continue. Now, hit that like button. Don't hit that subscribe button while you're here. What is this? So sick parents, right? And funny that this is coming up, right? So the gods will rise, right? Let's go to this. The gods will rise. Manifest destiny is over right now. That time is up. Let me do this real quick and show y'all this. So we have a movie that's coming called Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, okay? And in this movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I want to show y'all, what did I want to show y'all? The premise of the movie. Now, it's very interesting. Now, remember, there is a theory, right, that the Caucasians have been running on called manifest destiny. And manifest destiny was basically that the Caucasian would rule the world. This was said that Napoleon, when he went into the Great Pyramid, and he had a vision about manifest destiny, and then he gave it to Constantine, and Constantine ran with it, and they had the Council of Nicaea, where they edited these different spiritual tablets and books from all these different cultures, and they created the 66 books of the Bible. Now, 666 in the Bible, it says that that is the number of man, right? We are not man, we are gods, okay? So just think about that there's 66 books in the Bible, okay? And before you get to the crown chakra, right, you stop at 6, which is the third eye chakra, which I just showed you, which this guy said there's no scientific proof, but he has an endocrine system in his body, and he has biochemicals in his body, and he has semen, and he has blood flowing through him, right? And he has literally a pineal gland that's shaped like a pine cone, but he's saying that I don't have any scientific proof. Anyway, so the premise of this particular movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, right? This is the end of white supremacy, okay? Manifest destiny is over, okay? Now, this is the beginning of the end, right? Doesn't mean that people won't be racist. It doesn't mean that people won't call you a nigger. Doesn't mean that you won't go through any struggles or anything like that. What it means, though, is that, and that you guys are seeing little by little, right? People are becoming, they're saying woke. I hate the term woke, right? Because sleep and meditation is really where you get a lot of the gems, right? But let's say, for lack of argument, people are getting more woke, right? People are getting more knowledgeable. People are more interested in learning and understanding. People are more interested in getting a knowledge of self. So they are tapping into this particular information. And because they're tapping into this particular information, there are, what happens is the more of us that have altars, the more of us that are, and even I posted something on my Instagram today, even the church members, I was shocked. You know, Larry Reed, shout out to Larry Reed, one of the most popular church members out there. You know, he was saying, yo, you Christian, you got to get an altar. You know, Juanita, he said, not just the altar in church, he said, get an altar in your home. And he literally called it a vortex. He literally called, Bobby Hemmett said that shit 20 years ago, right? Phil Ballantyne been talking that for the last 20 years, right? Now the church is talking about getting an altar. I seen Juanita Bynum on a full moon working an altar. It's on the internet. Type in Juanita Bynum working an altar. And she got the glass of water. She got the she got everything that I would have on my altar to do work. So it's happening whether you down with it or not, whether you need the scientific peer-reviewed proof or not. This shit is happening in front of your eyes, okay? You're not here to save anybody. I'm not here to save these people, okay? You're not here to save anybody or even convince anybody about who you are. But look at, this is how this happens, y'all. You see how I'm approaching this? I don't give a fuck, right? About what they're saying. This is me not having shame. This is me not having fear. But this is, I did have that in the past. So I'm not saying it's not something that will happen, but you have to also prepare yourself. But me doing the research and me doing the knowledge, I could come to a science-based person with this shit. And matter of fact, you could sit down with me with a reading, which I've done with somebody that's atheist and scientist and read his whole life. His brother, his army family, his ancestor came through. I ain't telling him that, but his ancestors came through and I read him. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, and he was shocked. He was like, damn, how do you know this? You know what I'm saying? So I say all this to say that you could do it too. It's not my ego. I'm just saying that you could do it too. But it's a process. So anyway, this movie is coming out, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, this movie is, the plot is in 1969, America, and this adds up to 7 as well, okay? 9 and 10, okay? 6 and 9 is, 9 and 6 is 15, okay? Actually, I'm not going to add it up because that's going to take too. Add it up yourself. You'll see it comes out to 7. I think it comes out to 25 if I'm correct. But add it up yourself, it'll come out to 7. So in 1969, American archaeologist and adventurer Indiana Jones lived against the backdrop of the space race. Okay, so it's this movie is going to be about the space race. All right, about them launching the space shuttle. Okay, Jones is uneasy over the fact that the new U.S. government has recruited former Nazis. Okay, we just had a reckoning of the Nazis last couple of months. Okay, with Kanye West, right? What his comments about Hitler, with the situation with Adidas, right, being exposed as being discovered by Nazis, right? But a lot of people didn't know that Nazis were in NASA. Okay, so this is a fact. The U.S. government recruited Nazis for the space race. Okay, they were Nazis in NASA, right? That started NASA, and I believe they still are. So what we see in NASA is not always the truth. Okay. So to help beat the Soviet Union in the competition to make it to space, all right? So this is the Great Space Race, all right? The space race, all right, was a 20th century competition between two Cold War rivals, the United States and the Soviet Union, to achieve superior spaceflight capability, okay? It has its origins in the ballistic missile-based nuclear arms race between the two nations following World War II, okay? So that was brand new technology in 1969. His goddaughter, Helena, accompanies him on the journey, okay? His goddaughter, all right? Meanwhile, Jurgen Voller, a NASA member and ex-Nazi, involved with the moon landing program, wishes to make the world a better place as he sees fit. Okay, so this is a movie talking about the space race. We talk about, you hear, you may have heard Billy Carson and some of these other speakers, right? They talk about us coming from space, the Anunnaki, right? The Dogon tribe in Mali, they have something called the Dogons, right? The Nomo, right? The fish people coming here and coming out of the water, right? You have the sciences, the pygmies, right? Were people initially who came out the water. And over time, the pygmy or the sand bushmen, who are normally little short people, right? They're shorter people. And over time, through development, right? Through learning language and tilling the land and learning, eventually they grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So you had people that are 7 foot tall and up, right? But it was like anything else, right? It's a process, right? So the pygmy and the sand bushmen, they're usually very short, small people because they were ancestors or descendants of the first man, which is the whole Dogon science that we came from Sirius B, which is lit up right now. All right. So what was interesting about this? Let me see if I have it. Okay, the themes and influences, yeah. So he said, what is it? Where is it? Okay. So it says the film depicts, as director James Mangold describes it, a hero at sunset. Okay. So this is the sunset. This movie is going to depict the sunset of that manifest destiny doctrine, the sunset of that Nazi idealism that has permeated America. As I've told y'all before in videos years back, America originally started with Freemasonry. Freemasonry was what the founding fathers built America on, right? Even though they had slaves, yes. But most countries, if you study history, true history, big countries are all built on cheap labor. China is built on cheap labor, slave labor. You know they don't pay these Chinese, and they got these Chinese sweatshops, right? India, same thing, right? England, same thing. All these big countries, these powers are built on cheap, inexpensive, damn near slave or slave labor, right? It's how America got bit, off the back of the slave. And it wasn't all melanated black beings that were slaves, okay? That's a misdirection in history. Was it a lot of us? Yes. At one time. Was it all? Yes. But you had melanated people that were slave owners too. Study your history. There were black people in positions who were slave owners, who held slaves. Okay, you can see that in Django, right? He was a slaver, right? Once he got free and got his papers, he was able to have slaves himself. Okay? That's real. Even though it's in a movie, it's real shit. All right. There were Caucasian people that had slaves. There was Indian people who had Native Americans, quote unquote, that had slaves, right? It's just the truth, right? In fact, there's a story of a woman who bought her husband out of slavery. The husband cheated on her, and she sold the husband back into slavery, right? And she had a plantation. I forgot her name, but you could look it up yourself. Okay. So anyway, this film is going to be the hero at sunset. Okay. This is the ending or the sunset of that Indiana Jones mythology this is going to be the last movie that they're doing, right? And this is the dial of destiny, meaning the clock is changing, right? I told y'all in my video that about the black and white and the changing of the of that we are now in control of the Masonic chessboard if we so choose to, right? If of the quote unquote good and bad, what's good and bad, right? What do they tell us is good? Fast food. What do they tell us is good? Balenciaga. What do they tell us is good? Materialism. What do they tell us is good? Division, right? Not dating a man unless he's super rich, right? What do they tell us is good? Not dating a girl unless she has a fat ass and big titties, right? What do they tell us is good? Putting your kids right in public school and you not teaching them yourself, trusting them to teach your kids everything, and you just bringing them home and you just teach them how to, go to the store for you and come back safe, right? But you don't teach them anything else. You don't educate them and give them real life lessons about anything else. In fact, all your real life lessons are based in fear, right? So that's the only things you teach your children, right? You don't give your children freedom. You don't understand your children were a certain age, and you are not able to be a time traveler like Kang to go back. That's masculine spirituality, to go back and see that your kids were you at one point, right? So the hero at sunset. with the title character's age being an important plot point due to Jones not pretending he is getting old and keep being reliable in his latest adventure. To me, whatever your greatest liability, you should fly straight towards that, okay? This is, again, dealing with transformation, okay? Dealing with your root chakra, dealing with your fears, dealing with what you think you're weak at and making it strong, okay? And knowing what you are great at. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to be a computer programmer. That's just not what my destiny is. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to be a nuclear physicist. That's not what my destiny is. But I will learn as much as possible about different things so that I have less liability. So if I am in a room of nuclear engineers, right, I could talk about something, you know, maybe the space shuttle, right? Or maybe math. I could talk about quantum physics, right? Which may intrigue them, right? That's something in that realm. But again, you want to be able to strengthen yourself in different areas. And the way you do that is through study, right? It's called a university for a reason, because the universe has the answers. The answers are out here in the universe. There are no secrets, just a lack of secretion, just a lack of tapping into that sacral chakra energy, just a lack of living a life of pleasure and peace no matter what happens. Okay? So it says if you try to pretend it's not there, you end up getting slings and arrows the whole way. And this is the director, or the writer, I should say, Mangold. He says, and let's get his name, Mangold. Okay? Again, these things don't just happen for a reason. This is mythology. Mythology has always been used, whether it's the Yoruba mythology, whether it's the Loa mythology, whether it's the Netzeru mythology, whether it's the Santeria, the Saint mythology, whether it's Marvel, whether it's DC, whether it's Indiana Jones, whether it's X-Men, whether it's whatever. Superhuman, supernatural, right, is dealing with you. So you have to look at these things and have the ability to understand the signs and symbols. And the only way you get that is through study, right? Study and experience, not just philosophy. Study and living what you're studying and testing what you're studying and being brave, okay? As i.e. Indiana Jones. So they compared Dial of Destiny to his finale, X-Men Logan. Now, this particular director, Mangold, he directed some pretty dope movies. For time's sake, I'm not going to get into this. Y'all know how I do. But again, you could look him up. He directed another one of my favorite movies. Let me see if I could pull him up real quick. James Mangold. He directed some pretty dope movies. So this is going to be a good one. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a real good one. Now, they're either going to mislead us or not. And so James Mangold, let's see what he directed. He directed some good movies, actually. Yeah, he directed Girl Interrupted, Wolverine, 1997, Logan. He directed some other shit, Ford versus Ferrari, Walk the Line, which was a good movie. Logan was a good movie. So he's known for doing good movies. He did something that they're not showing here. City on the Hill was good. I like movies, so I watch a lot of movies. And sometimes, especially now, I've been like kind of guided towards certain movies. There's a movie he did with it's not here for whatever reason, but there was a movie he did with Tom Cruise, Edge of Tomorrow. That's the name of it. And it was a time travel movie where he kept going back in time, and he had to master different elements when he was going back in time, which was essentially trauma. He had to master certain elements so that he could reach a certain level, so that he could bypass the thing that got him killed. Edge of Tomorrow is a really deep movie. Check that out if you have a chance. So let's go to, all right, so we covered Manifest Destiny, right? Let's talk about this real quick. The Return of the Kang. We're going to use Instagram for this. Y'all all right? Shout out to Bobby Hemmett. Let me hear that. Let me hear for some gunshots. Keep y'all up. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm making sense. I don't want to just talk to people and I'm losing y'all. So put a 1 in the chat if I'm making sense, please. Put a 1 in the chat. I appreciate it. Put a 1 in the chat if what I'm saying is making sense to y'all. Por favor. So this is my Instagram page. You could definitely follow me on IG. I want to pull this up real quick about the Divine Masculine by Mike Rashid.
Divine means relating to or coming directly from God or a god. Masculine means having qualities or an appearance traditionally associated with men or boys. So let's define God: the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being. So for a man to be in his divine masculinity, he needs to embody the characteristics or appearance traditionally associated with men, and he must be guided by the characteristics of God. He must be aligned with the spirit of high morality, good conscious decisions, and an honest tongue. He must be loyal, dutiful, industrious, contemplative, fair, selfless, and dangerous. As men, we should fortify our mental, physical, and financial resources to be the most formidable. For the head of the household, it is irresponsible for you to not be able to protect your home and your loved ones. As a member of society, it's irresponsible to be afraid to stand in the face of evil when you are a witness to it. We need to train in combat. We also need to keep the body healthy, fit, and strong. We need to strengthen the mind with meditation, prayer, reading, and engaging in rigorous discord. We need to be in counsel with wise and powerful men who challenge us mentally. This helps us expand consciousness. A harmless man is a liability. A dangerous man is an asset. When speaking of a dangerous man, that's a man that can properly articulate his thoughts and speaks his mind truthfully with no fear of repercussions, because he's doing all that he can to live the life of a civilized person. He's governed by the tenets of love as truth, respect, empathy, patience, understanding, and service. A dangerous man is also one who is able and willing to inflict harm on another, but that's only when under attack or is protecting other people. He sheaths his proverbial sword and he keeps it hidden until evil is presented. We should walk this earth ready to choke the life out of a man with our bare hands. We will pray that never happens, but we should be prepared for that day. Let's face it, there is evil in this world, immoral and wicked. We stand in between it and our loved ones. We must be brave. A brave heart is one that is ready to face and endure danger or pain, showing courage when standing for what's right. You may feel that energy that we all know is fear, and that's okay. But you will utilize that for fuel and don't let it consume you. When you feel that energy of fear, that is the time to defy it. Breathe it in and turn it into fuel, consciously controlling your amygdala and convert that anxiety to power. A man that is fully activated in his divine masculinity is one who, on a cellular level, is vibrating at a high frequency. He does this by engaging in difficult things like rigorous training, pushing himself to the limits physically on a consistent basis. He also does this by engaging in activities of the mind, always learning more, which creates neurogenesis, which keeps the mind sharp and full of ideas. It also makes a person more interesting. He also pushes himself spiritually with prayer or meditation. These activities vibrate a man's cells at a high frequency. The more vibration in the cells, the more powerful the person's magnetic attraction is, as well as his power of repulsion. This is important when it comes to manifesting the things that we want or need. They come easy, and also things that are not good for us stay away, because power of repulsion is also stronger. When we are activating our own magnetic fields in our bodies, we are more aligned with the magnetic fields on our beautiful planet. We are in harmony with nature, and in turn in harmony with God. This is very important for our families, friends, business partners, classmates, etc. The divine masculine is good for society. There has been marketing to make masculinity toxic, but the only toxic masculinity is for men to be devoid of masculinity. We should embrace a culture of men being men, men embodying masculinity governed by the characteristics of the divine. Men who are brave enough to love. Men who are brave enough to violently oppose evil and its agents. The modern day Renaissance man is a man fully activated in his divine masculine nature.
Sorry, y'all. I don't need to say much. That is the divine masculine. Supreme J99, I'm gonna apologize to you as a man because I see that nutsack comment was just something that you were saying. Maybe you were genuinely curious about where the first nutsack came from. I don't know, but I thought you were trolling. But this was a very good question, a very good statement. You said God is watching me. Complex is why I feel guilty in life. Technically, all the cells in your body are God, right? All of the blood in your body is God. The air that you breathe, the word spirit means breath, right? So God is in you, right? God is on you. When you go into your dream world, right? You're going into the world of God, the realm of God, the realm of the divine, the realm where anything can happen. You could do anything, be anything, become anything. So God is in you, as they say, not on you. So when you say God is watching me, it's not necessarily there's some benevolent being on high, right? You're watching yourself. When we talk about Oshun, right? Let me pull up Oshun real quick, just to answer the brother's question. I talked about this earlier, but this is a good picture. So we talk about Oshun. We are talking about we're talking about this particular image right here, okay? And so this is an artist rendition, right? But actually, I don't even want to use this one because, hold on, I want to get a better one. Because Oshun would be more yellow than that, you know? We want to honor the goddess correctly, not recklessly. Okay, yeah, she's more yellow. So let's use this right here. So Oshun is this goddess that deals with the sunflower, okay? And like I said, she deals with the reflection. Okay. So everyone that you encounter is a reflection of the godhood in you. When you pass away, there are going to be people that will remember you. They'll remember your name. They'll remember what you did. They'll remember how you treated them. They'll remember Rest with Power to Nipsey Hussle, the ancestor, right? Nipsey Hussle wasn't a platinum rapper, right? He wasn't the richest rapper in the world. He wasn't the most popular rapper in the world. But he impacted so many people that they had to bury him. He wasn't a Snoop Dogg, right? He wasn't Dr. Dre. He wasn't none of that in the hip hop world. But he impacted so many people around the world and in California specifically that they had to bury him in the Staples Center, right? That is God watching you. Okay? That is the God in you watching you. And the God in you is tied to your consciousness, right? Or what you call your conscience. Okay? Your conscience, meaning how you feel at night. We all got mirrors, right? You know if you're a piece of shit. You know if you're an asshole. You know if you're in survival mode. You know if you wake up with a strategy on how you're going to take advantage of your girl. You wake up with a strategy on how you're going to take advantage of your man, or how you're going to manipulate this person, or how you're going to manipulate that person, right? You know who you are. You know how you treat people. You know how people talk about you. You may make excuses. You may not be accountable. But at the end of the day, the mirror is there. And your life will be a reflection of the type of person you are, the type of people you encounter, the type of people that you meet on your day-to-day business, the type of women, the type of men, the type of jobs, right? Everything in your life is a reflection of who you are. This is the real job of Oshun, not just looking pretty and not just talking about the sweet waters and not just being able to get a man or not just being able to get a woman, right? This is about your vision of yourself. Oshun Heru also deal with the imagination. They deal with the visuals. They deal with joy in the imagination, joy in the visuals, right? Everyone and everything you meet is a reflection of you. Where you live is a reflection of you. This path is the ultimate form of accountability. Okay? I'm going to say it again on some Dr. Umar shit. This path is the ultimate form of accountability. So the complex of God watching you, there is no God watching you but you. And how you know God is watching you is via your conscience. What you feel is right and what you feel is wrong. No one can really tell you that, but there are 7 universal laws: the law of mentalism, the law of vibration, the law of polarity, the law of cause and effect, the law of correspondence, the law of gender, and the law of rhythm. You understand those 7 universal laws as the foundation. That's what you start with. It's called a Kabbalion. And once you do that, then you get a baseline of what the God, which is the collective. We're in the age of Aquarius, so that deals with the collective, the water bearing, right? The water being your soul, what you're putting out, right? Aquarius is that man holding a cup, so what you're putting out, and it's an androgynous, so what energy you're putting out into the universe. So I hope that answered your question. And again, my apologies, I thought you were a troll, but that was a trolling ass statement nonetheless. All right.
We do not care.
All right, let's get back to it. So what we're talking about is, so what's going to happen 2023, right? This God year is the healthy will get sick, okay? The rich will become poor. The redeemable, right, amongst us, right, that are on that bullshit, that are not stepping into their power, that are not doing the work to become a God body, that are not healing those 7 chakras I was talking about, they will go to jail. They will get sick. Healthy people that you see healthy and fit and all that and look good on Instagram, they are going to get sick. They're going to be hospitalized. You're going to be surprised. There are going to be more deaths, like a gangster, rest in peace to her, that are coming out of nowhere, that are going to happen, right? I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to doom and gloom you, but I am trying to get you to get off your ass and do this work and sacrifice whatever you need to. If you're smoking too much weed, if you're drinking too much, if you're sniffing too many lines, if you're drinking too much lean, right? You need to scale it back, okay? It's a new year, and all the energy right now, Mercury's in Capricorn, Venus is in Capricorn, the sun is in Capricorn, right? There's a lot of energy. Jupiter is in Aries, right? Was start of new initiations. Jupiter in Aries is new shit. Aries is an initiator. It's the first sign of the zodiac, right? It's that zodiacal energy. So it's time for you to get your ass in line, okay? If you're hearing the sound of my voice, get your ass in line. It's time to purge. It's time to purge. Stop playing. You're going to get the money. You're going to get the job. You're going to get the career. You're going to manifest things that you never believed that you ever could have manifested before this year. But you got to be in alignment with the force. Shout out to Star Wars, okay? You got to be in alignment with the right side of the force. You got to get out this survival structure where you think you got to play people and manipulate people to get what you want, okay? You got to open up your heart chakra, okay? You got to be able to connect with people. You have to form networks, right? This is what the white boys do. They form startups. They sign contracts. You don't trust me, I don't trust you. We don't trust each other. Okay, let's get the paperwork right. You sign an agreement. I sign an agreement. We all sign an agreement, right? And we got a startup. This way there's no beef. Okay, there's no I don't trust you. You don't, because that's the big thing in our community. Trust. I don't trust this person. That's why they got paperwork. That's why they got legalese. Ma'at, the principle of ma'at. Ma'at is the law. When you look at justice with the scales, that's ma'at. Okay, when you go to the courtroom and that's scales and justice, that's ma'at. Okay, that's the woman of ma'at. That's where that comes from. Okay, comes from ma'at. So law is our culture, right? Universal law is our culture. Don't get it twisted. Don't think the white boy created the law. All right, We had law, we had court in our culture, and it was usually court with the whole village, with the whole cities, in fact, where they would put your ass to court. And they had divination tools to determine what was happening. Okay. I posted this on my Facebook. All right. I already knew Tory Lanez did it. I knew Tory Lanez did it way ahead because I want to find out. So what did I do? I went to my tarot. I did a tarot card reading, and I went to my I Ching. I'm also going to show y'all how to use the I Ching in 2023 because it's a divination tool that some of y'all are going to really pick up instead of everybody just doing fucking tarot. Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with tarot. I use it. You know what I'm saying? But there's other divination tools other than tarot that, you know, more people need to pick up because people need help. There needs to be more of me. There needs to be more of the Dream Wisers, of Panics, of Bobby Hemmett's, of whoever, you know, whoever's out there, the Brother Riches, all these people. There needs to be more of that, especially in this day and time, because people need healing. People need to transform, okay? People need to heal them chakras, heal them traumas. And people that have these spiritual gifts, if some of y'all been through some shit that y'all have testimony, you know what I'm saying? Y'all been tested and have testimony of overcome things that y'all need to share, but you're scared. You're nervous. You don't want to change who you are because you don't want to be judged. You don't want someone to come in your comment sections and say, where's the science to back these claims up, right? But guess what? When you know what you're talking about, right, and you have reference and you do your study and you own it and you take your time to do this, instead of watching Netflix, instead of watching the game, instead of watching the reality show, instead of whatever form of escapism you're doing, hanging out, right, having sex all day, eating all type of shit, right, instead of doing that, and you say, I'm going to dedicate an hour a day. I don't care what hour it is. I'm going to dedicate an hour of day to me, starting today, to learning something. Every year, I start the year with something, still a new, different, a new thing to learn, right? I start the year, last year, 2022, was demonology. I didn't want to be scared of demons. I want to understand what demons really were. So I started studying demonology. Once I realized demonology was nothing but your animal, the animal in you, and it wasn't some spooky shit outside of me, right? And I realized it was something that I control and dominate, and it wasn't something that was just this thing that people have to talk about. I was like, okay, I got it. I understand demonology, right? It's a demon is a daemon. I talked about this in many, many videos. Okay. A demon is a daemon. If you want to understand what a demon or a daemon is, go watch the first episode of His Dark Materials on HBO Max. It'll tell you all you need to know. Okay. That's all you need to do. It's the animal spirit within you. You could allow the animal to control you. If you allow the animal to control you, guess what? You're called what we call, the God body's called the savage. Okay, you're a savage in the pursuit of happiness. Okay, Cash Barber, you could email me. Actually, let me put this up here. Everything's going to change soon. Cash App, everything, because as I step into my power, I have to kill the old guy, right? I have to kill Rob too. I have to kill Rob. So Rob is going to die. Rob's going to resurrect, right? So, but Rob will be used for, you know, human shit. But I'm gonna change this soon. But let me put this banner up for Cash Barbie. If y'all want to show love for this fire that I'm giving y'all, that I'm channeling for y'all, y'all could do that too. So there's the information. You can email me, Cash Barbie, and we can set up if you guys want a reading, right? You want a chakra reading, a Akashic reading, email me, I'll give you the price. We'll do it together. It's not free. Ain't nothing near free. Y'all got nice purses, nice sneakers, nice bags. I got kids, I got rent, I got bills, I got all that, right? Books, time, it takes, right? You know, I got to pay for my Wi-Fi, all that. You know what I'm saying? So all these things take money. I mean, nothing free but air. And if they could charge you for that, they would. All right? So, and even air ain't free, shit. Because if you don't eat, you're going to die. Right? If you don't eat, you're gonna live. So even that, you gotta do something. You gotta put some type of work in, right? And we're in this capitalist society, so unfortunately, and fortunately, currency is the order of the day. So if you want to donate, you could donate to that Cash App, right? If you wanted to get a reading for the new year, see what's going on, you could email me. We could do a full reading, right? If you want a full reading, it's gonna be a little more. Full reading is this. So we could do a regular reading. Regular reading is just we do some cards, right? We'll do an oracle card reading, tarot card reading. Boom. Second stage of the readings, we do oracle card reading, tarot card reading, and the I Ching. Third stage of the readings, that's the full reading, is we do all the above plus your astrological chart. All right. And all that will give you a comprehensive way to look at the new year, what you should be focused on, your talents, what questions you have, so forth and so on. Right. And extra is for an audience, because I'm not doing face-to-faces like I did a couple of years ago, because that takes time, it's energy, it's extra draining. But over the phone, via email, we could do things like that. But face-to-face is going to cost you a little extra. It is what it is. All right. And so you're going to see again, healthy people will get sick. The rich will become poor. All right. A lot of people unexpectedly will become jailed and hospitalized. Sick parents, sick pedophiles, they're going to get dealt with this year. I don't know if y'all have seen, but there's already been pedophiles that have gotten arrested recently, right? Something that hasn't been seen since the Trump era, okay? Balenciaga got exposed. You're going to see more and more of these places, people and things being exposed unexpectedly, unknowingly, shockingly, okay? This is the year of exposure. This is the year of God. This is the year of God power. It's a 7-year, year of completion, okay? A year of truth, right? You're going to see a lot of your favorites on YouTube get exposed for who they truly are. You're going to see a lot of your favorites on YouTube getting hospitalized, getting sick out of nowhere, right? You're going to see a lot of your favorites here online that are talking the shit but not living it, right? A lot of your favorite historians that are talking shit but not living truth be exposed. I'm here to see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to see it. I'm here for the purge. I'm here for the purge. All right? Put a 1 in the chat if you're here for the purge. If you're here for the purge, put a 1 in the chat. Because I'm here for the purge. Appreciate you, Cash Barbie. Shout out to Cash Barbie. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to Cash Barbie. Thank you so much. What we're going to actually, let me keep this up. Shit. I'm gonna keep this dub up. Let's see. So we talked about that, right? Parents, the sick parents, right? If you are a parent, you are oppressing your children. You're calling them weird. You're calling them stupid. You're calling them dumb. You're calling them retarded. You are oppressive. You're beating them all the time. You are just a terrorist, right? Just a terrorist to your child, right? And you think that you are, or even a narcissist, right? You beat them, you do wrong, you take their money, you know what I'm saying? You're taking their money. You know the things that fucked up parents do. You're talking down on them, you're crushing their dreams. They tell you they want to be an astronaut. You say, oh, you're a black boy, you can't do that. They tell you they want to own a business, pull a lemonade stand outside. Oh, it's not safe. You know, you live in the projects or whatever. They want to put a lemonade stand. Oh, it's not safe. You're killing the dream of an entrepreneur. I want you to know that, right? You're killing the dream of an entrepreneur. Some people start with lemonade stands, right? And get buku bucks. Make it safe. Make it happen, right? Make it happen. That's what God does. Make it happen. Come into the truth of who and what you really are so that you could be better for these kids. Because what's going to happen is the wise child is going to rise up. The children are going to wise up. A lot of your parents are going to get your ass beat by these kids that are coming out of here, that are under these 5G frequency. We're the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension was initiated with the 5G frequency, okay? So we've been out of the third dimension. I don't know who told you we was in the third dimension, 2020, 19, and all that, but that's a lie. With each radio frequency that comes into play, just like we had 3G, 4G, now we're on 5G, right? And the more, because I don't know if you have a 5G phone, but if you have a 5G phone, you know that your 5G phone ain't really as fast as it's supposed to be. In fact, you're better off going back to 4G on your phone than you are with your 5G phone, because the 5G ain't really shit. So in most of your major cities, they're building towers closer and closer and closer to your home. So in a lot of the major cities, a lot more and more people are catching that thing that ends with 19. They're catching that thing that ends with 19 because of the extra radiation that's being pumped through their bodies. They're Popeye-filled, Burger King, Taco Bell, Dorito-filled, soda-filled, Pepsi, Coca-Cola-filled bodies, and their body cannot maintain the level of frequency to move throughout the planet. I told y'all in 2020, go back, the videos are there. I told you, I gave proof. Some of them they deleted, some of them they didn't. I gave y'all proof of what was happening and what they were putting in the environment and what that 19 thing really, really was. I gave it to y'all. Proof, evidence, slides, what it really was. Radiation pneumonitis. Okay? Why is it spiking again in NYC? Go look at what they're doing with the towers in NYC and put 2 and 2 together. You think it's just a flu. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want. But 10 years later, when it comes out, sooner or later, we'll all see who the prophet is. And I say that in all humility. All right? So the children are going to rise up. Parents are going to get fucked up. These 5G kids ain't having it. All right? They're not having it. They studying. They got the internet. They know what's up. Your time. If you're older, your time is up. You got to realize that. You got to learn from these kids. You got to learn from your children. You got to understand where they're coming from. You got to be able to listen to them. You got to be able to let them emote. You got to be able to let them express themselves. You got to be able to let them feel. You have to have understanding. Your heart chakra has to be open. And that your heart chakra can't be open if you're on the internet talking about negative, talking about, oh, men ain't shit. If you're on the internet talking about women ain't shit, right? If you're talking about all women are gold diggers. If you're on the internet talking about all men are users, right? Your heart's not open, and your heart can't be open for your children because guess what? Your children are girls and your children are boys. So if you think you're saying this shit on the internet and you got a son, right, it's not going to translate to your son, you're bugging yourself out, okay? Put Shorty back up just for you to see it, okay? Everything is a mirror reflection of you. So those of you who are Oshun-centric, right? All the women that are Oshun-centric, right? I'm talking to y'all, right now. Those of you single mothers, right? What you tell your kids is a reflection of you. How you treat your kids is a reflection of you. Childhood trauma is a real thing. Okay? It's a real thing. And you got to be the best version of yourself so you can understand where these children are coming from and understand the ideas that you have, right? And understand, they have. And what needs to be nurtured in them. They need their charts read by you. They need you to do readings from them. They need you to know these things, okay? They need you need to have some sort of divination. If you following somebody that don't got no divination or don't understand how to do divination, you're playing yourself. You're playing yourself. No disrespect. 7 is a year of divination as well. Divination allows you tarot cards, pendulum readings. I ain't gonna get up. Yeah, I ain't got no shorts on, so I can't get up. But pendulum readings, right? All these different things you got to do in order to learn. Again, no rush. You got 12 months. You got 12 months. Take your time. Don't get all the books at once. You know what I'm saying? Get what you can. Start with one thing. Ask yourself, what is it that I need to learn? Or come to someone like me. Get a reading, right? Get a comprehensive reading. Or don't. Go to astralseek.com. All right? Let me put this on the screen. Hold on. Go to astralseek.com, okay? Get your shit together, okay? Read what's going on, all right? These are the transit planets. I ain't gonna go deep into them. I'm just gonna show you what's going on. You got the sun in Capricorn. You got Mercury in Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn. Capricorn is all about order, structure, and discipline. What great plans to put into the new year, all right? These are the dominant planet. Venus is about love, okay? Are you setting Venus is about love? All y'all want to be in love. Are you setting boundaries, okay? Are you saying, look, boo, this is who I am. This is what I am. This is what I'm going to take. This is what I'm not going to take. If you ain't with it, you got to go. It's 2023, okay? Mercury is communication, okay? How do you communicate your ideas? Are your ideas structured? Not only your outside talk, but your inner talk, okay? This is the deity thought, or Tahuti. How are your thoughts structured, all right? What are you saying to yourself? And what do you say to others, right? How do you communicate? Do your ideas sound? Or are you just regurgitating something, and then when someone comes, a la Kyrie Irving, and challenges you, and there's no diss to Kyrie. Kyrie's my man. I salute Kyrie 100%. But when them dudes was challenging him on the stage about his ideas, same thing happened to Nick Cannon, right? Same thing happened to Nick Cannon when his ideas were getting challenged by them Jews, right? By the Jewish community. Sorry, no disrespect to the Jews. Jewish community. When they were challenged by the Jewish community, Nick Cannon had nothing to say. Okay, he didn't communicate his ideas effectively. So I'm not saying just go out and make a YouTube channel tomorrow and go out and start a podcast tomorrow. Put in the work though. Put in the work so that you're confident enough to be able to. And even if you're not 100% where you need to be, take baby steps. You could go back to my old videos. I wasn't always, doing these things, and I was masking. There was times I came on here high on weed. A lot of your speakers right now, they high on weed. You know what I'm saying? They smoking weed in order to build up the confidence to do this. You know what I'm saying? There has to come a point where you don't have a crunch, where you don't drink to be confident to talk to women in the club. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't have to smoke to feel comfortable and relaxed when you're watching a movie. There comes a point where you have to start to shed some of these things. I'm not saying you can't enjoy them, because I enjoy them at certain times and places. What I am saying, if you are abusing the lean, if you're abusing the smoke, if you're abusing the liquor, it's time to really see what you're communicating to yourself, right? Mercury is all that, your self-talk. I need this. I have to have it. And start purging your body with herbs. Start taking certain herbs. One good herb for we're in Capricorn season. It's under Saturn. One good herb you guys could want to get is this herb called horsetail. Horsetail tea. For the ladies, not only is it a good just to help you get organized and get your brain structured and build new neurons as we step into this new year, but you also get the horsetail tea, because what the horsetail tea will do is you'll be able to it'll grow your hair and it'll grow your nails. Y'all see I got this afro growing? You know what I'm saying? Y'all see I got this beautiful afro growing? You know this is horsetail tea. You know what I'm saying? I'm at an age where most men's hair stop growing. All right? Horsetail tea. Try it out. All right? And if you want your hair to stop graying, you also want to at least every couple of weeks, right? Put some carrots in your diet. If you do it every week, that's even better. But put some carrots in your diet, some carrot juice. Get you a blender, all right? Get you a high quality blender. Spend $1 on it. Same money you would spend on the shoes, the Louis V's and all that shit y'all be buying to look good on the outside. Invest some of that on your body and these vitamins and these herbs, okay? Get you a book that deals with holistic healing. All right, there's plenty on Amazon. Don't ask me. Ask your spirit what you should get. Okay, and if you're not getting a clear answer, then you need to go on meditation and learn how to meditate so you can. So let's go into, all right, Eileen said I use horsetail leaf. Very, very positive. Papa. All right, and I see you got them braids going. So yeah, horsetail will get your nails right. You don't need to go to the nail salon to get the tips. Them shits will start growing on their own. And also your hair will start growing if you got them patches. You ain't got, them girls talking about you ain't got no edges. You know what I'm saying? Them edges will start coming in and all that. You know what I'm saying? Horsetail tea. And this is the great base time because it's a Saturn-based herb. Every planet has different herbs. A book you want to get, shit, I can't get up, but I could share something with y'all. You want to get there's 2 books really, but I'm gonna bring one first. And this is also for magic, but just so you get an understanding of which planets govern which and stuff like that, you could get this book. And Cunningham Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. All right, it's on Amazon, pretty cheap, $16.75. Oh wait, I don't want y'all to see my. Oh, okay, this is a generic Amazon. I'm like, I don't want y'all to see my shit. But yeah, and also another book you could get is, well, y'all can't do nothing with this anyway. But another book y'all want y'all to get is Jewel Pulcrums. Dr. Jewel Pookrum. Dr. Jewel Pookrum got good books, period. This is a good one. Vitamins and Minerals from A to Z with Ethno-Consciousness. This is a good book on vitamins and minerals by Jewel Pookrum. Again, we got enough scientists that we don't have to go to outside sources, okay? Another good book on health is by Dr. Layla Africa. This is a great book, African Holistic Health. Get your screenshots on. All right. Another good book is, what's her name? This lady's name is actually Wakanda. I don't have this book anymore. I had it before. It was much cheaper, but I lost it. And shit. Yeah, my name is Wakanda. I think it's called Native American Herbalist Bible. Yeah, this isn't the one. Yeah, by Wakanda Swami. All right, this is a good one, but they have other ones that are cheaper. You could also get a used book, right? Don't be afraid to get a used book. Some of them are. I have a couple used books here. I would just say, spray your book, but there's plenty of Native American Herbalist Bibles here, so you can pick one. This is just the one I happen to have or had, which was very good. All right. So again, take care of your body. Okay. Oh wait, I didn't realize y'all don't even see that. Hold up. My bad. So yeah, Native Americans Herbalist Bible. You can get this. This is the one I was talking about from Wakanda. All right. Her name is Wakanda Swami. So we just had Wakanda Forever, right? So I mean it's pretty expensive. $36. I think it's a little too pricey. They probably got used versions. Or you could get one of these cheaper versions, right? This is probably just as good. All right, by Olivia Green. I think I read actually something about something that she had. It has a good ratings, So yeah, but you want to start getting into these things, You want to start getting you a little forgot what they call it, apothecary. You want to get a little apothecary about you. You want to have these herbs on hand for when your kids are sick, family members. You want to be a resource. Again, there's going to come a time this year where you're not going to be able to go to the doctor. There's going to be a time where you're not going to be able to run to the white coats. If the system is falling and America is in its Pluto return, right? America's in its Pluto return. You're not going to be able to run to the doctor, right? That means the doctor is going to fall. That means the hospital is going to fall. All right. If there's some sort of nuclear event that happens, shit's going to fall apart. You want America to fall, right? You don't want this wicked shit to go. That's where they keep killing your people, right? Where they keep misleading your people, where they keep putting their hands on the poor, right? Misleading the old, hurting the young, doing child trafficking, cannibalism, and worse. This system cannot stand in a God year, so it will begin to fall. So we got to learn how to take care and do for self. That is the rise of the dark night. And the dark night is within you, the darkness right within you, which is just your soul, right? It's nothing evil. Darkness is outside in the university in you. But you have to pay tuition to get to that university. Just like you pay tuition for college, you have to pay tuition in order to access the university of the mind. It's not free. You're not just going to get it by reading books. You have to go into meditation. It is critical, okay, especially this year. You're not going to get it just from learning your favorite speaker that's talking about aliens and shit and out there and behind the ice wall and who's in Mount Weather and who's in the underground tunnels and if Tupac is a clone and if Gucci Mane is a clone. Who gives a fuck? Is that paying your bills? Is that raising your children? Is that making your neighborhood better? Guess what? The people that's not focused on that is running the world. People who's not focused on flat earth run the world. So we really need to shift our focus to things that matter as a community and as a people. And not just our community, but people that have this type of mindset in 2023 and beyond. I'm almost done, y'all, I promise. So the scammers and manipulators will be exposed. I've heard a lot of people say that. If you follow other people, you probably heard that. But yeah, that's the truth, right? Also, be careful with social media, okay? Social media is social engineering. So I have said in the past on my Facebook post, my favorite hashtag was the media runs you niggas. My favorite hashtag, the media runs you niggas, right? Because every time there was an event in the media, it was an uproar, upstorm. Everybody had opinions, this, that, and most of these opinions were media driven. Even by the information that we're getting was via the media. So you have to really be careful on what you are consuming in the media, what you are emotionally influenced by, right? You have to be in the world, but not of the world. You have to be like Neo. Dip in the matrix, but dip out of the matrix. Don't stay in the matrix and be emotionally caught up in the matrix. That's when you're caught in survival mode. That's when you're caught in fear. Stop watching the news. Stop waking up tomorrow morning. Don't wake up and watch the news. Try it. I promise you, you will be safe without knowing what's on the news. I promise you, I haven't watched the news for years. If you need to know the news, guess what? There's something called Google. Okay, read the news. Go back to reading the news, like when they had the paper. Read the news. This way you can pick and choose. You don't have to see every bad event that happens in your neighborhood so that when you step outside, you're scared to death, right? You got to start shedding some of that fear. Stop shedding that survival mode, because there's people here on the YouTube channels that are triggering the fuck out of you, right? And they're supposed to be spiritual, but they're going to tell you every negative thing. Now, I am telling you some shit that sounds like doom and gloom, but I'm also telling you the positive aspects as well, right? I'm also telling you how you could heal yourself. I'm also telling you how you could help yourself. If your teacher doesn't have any fucking solutions, leave their ass in 2022. Dead them blood clot in 2022. They don't got solutions. All they got is doom and gloom, and they tell you when the next alien is coming, and they tell you when the next bomb is coming, and they tell you when the next explosion is coming, and half of their prophecies don't come true. Go back and check some of these people. I ain't gonna say their name because I ain't here to hate. I'm not a hater. But check your teachers, okay? Make sure that what they're telling you makes sense. Make sure that they got some solutions. All they got is every negative thing that's going to happen to you, that you really got to check your teacher and make sure that you're not just running off your anxiety and running off your fear. This is the year where you have to kill that fear, because there's going to be a lot of shit that happens, and you're going to need bravery. You're going to need strong nuts. You're going to need strong ovaries. You're going to need strong wombs. You're going to need to have your titties up. You're going to need to have your chest puffed out. You're going to be able to have to say no and stand strong and be willing to die on principles. It is what it is. This ain't going to be an easy year. I'm not dooming and glooming y'all. But many people that are in tune like I am have been telling you since winter solstice, since Sagittarius season, since Scorpio season, start to tune up. Take this winter solstice seriously. Take this Sagittarius season seriously. Take this Capricorn season seriously. Because it is going to be a year that is going to be a God year, and God does not play. God don't play. I ain't playing with y'all. And y'all that watch me know me. Y'all know the way I give it up. I don't be giving it up like this all the time. I'm not playing with y'all. So don't play yourself. Watch that social media, all right? Because it is social engineering. I told y'all my other video about how, I watched a piece of a manosphere video and how they just keep routing manosphere videos on my phone. Okay. Now I watch certain things, so I don't want to just turn off my notifications, right? But I have discretion. I know what to swipe away and when not to swipe away. I understand when they're trying to trigger me, when they're showing certain women. It's always the women doing the worst shit in the world that they got videos of, right? It's never women that are taking care of their family, or they're positive, or they're kind-hearted, right? Or they're nurturing. They never show those women. It's always the women doing the stupidest shit in the world. It's literally the news just on YouTube. Like the news shows you the worst shit in the world and the worst shit in your neighborhood. That's what they do with these manosphere videos. That's what they're doing in these woman sphere videos with the Cynthia G's and all that, right? They show you the worst outcome of men, the worst outcome of black men, the worst pictures of what they're doing, right? And perpetuate that as the truth. You could make that your truth, right? You could say, well, I had these experiences with men and this is my truth. But can that change though? Are you a miracle worker? Are you a time traveler like Kang, right? You have that Kang type energy in your spirit to transform the environment around you, because there's others that have done it. There's many people that you have examples of that have successful relationships, that have successful husbands and wives. What is it that you're doing where you can't manifest that? What type of people are you attracting that you can't manifest that? All right. And last but not least, be water, my friend. Word to Bruce Lee. Okay? Be water. All right? If water is in a cup, it becomes the cup. If water is in a cube, it becomes the cube. If water is in a triangle, it becomes the triangle. Blood pumps from the heart. Okay? So the heart chakra is the most important chakra to open up. Okay? It is the chakra that deals with understanding. It's the chakra that deals with connection. What did I tell y'all earlier for the new people that are coming in? Let me read it one more time, because repetition is the father of memory. They did a study, okay? The study is on happiness in relationships. This is a scientific study. It's not Rob Blackstone telling you this. If you're going to make one single decision that would ensure your own health and happiness, the science tells us that it should be to cultivate warm relationships of all kinds. Does it say warm relationships of just black people? Does it say warm relationships of just white people? Does it say warm relationships of just people in your inner circle, in your echo chamber? Warm relationships of all kinds, okay? That's your job, to be the light in the world, okay? Not the other people, not why they not like this, why they don't act like that, girl. Oh, these people ain't woke, my nigga. No, your job is to be the light. Your job is to be the truth. What they say, be what's the common phrase? I just saw that shit today. Be the example of what you want to see in the world, right? Be what you want to see in the world, right? You be that. Don't worry about, right? I have a quote on my Facebook. It says, I asked God, why is the world the way it is? I'm paraphrasing. I'm not using the exact quote, but it says, I asked God, why is the world the way it is? And God looked back at me and asked me, why are you the way you are? Right? So you are God. It's your job to be the light of the world, right? That's Christ consciousness for real, for real. So the science tells us that, what's the science in being happiness in relationships? The science tells us that it is to cultivate warm relationships of all kinds. It's not just about having a partner, it's in every realm of your life. Okay? So you have to figure out your tribe, okay? And if your tribe are people of light and light workers, then you'll be able to see them. You'll be able to track them. But to know truth is to live truth. You can't be out here dressing truth. You can't be out here crystalling truth. You can't be out here dashiki in truth. You can't be out here, I follow this person and I follow that one truth. You got to live the truth, not know the truth, not have the knowledge, not even have the wisdom to express it. But you have to have the understanding and the culture to live it. Okay? You have to have a culture. Your culture brings you freedom. That freedom, I'm going through the mathematics for those of you who understand the nation of gods and nerds. And I think I need to do a video on that too. Go back to those God party principles, the 1 to 10, because they're still valid. But the first step is knowledge, right? You got to have knowledge. Man, know thyself. Without knowledge, without study, you're just going to be a fucking parrot, right? And YouTube is cool. I get it. It's visual learning, right? But scientifically speaking, the way you retain information the most is through reading and through writing notes, right? Reading and writing, right? So even if you hear somebody like myself, right, write notes, or somebody that you find profound, take notes, write them in a book. You'll be able to remember the information easier, right? But read it, right? Audiobooks are dope, right? But think about it. Ask yourself, or you listen to 12 audiobooks, right? Maybe. Let's say you listen to 12 audiobooks. Ask yourself, how much of that audiobook do you remember? I listen to audiobooks too when I'm driving or when I'm doing something. I'm not exempt, but I remember more when I'm actually reading the book. I'm just telling you from experience. Now, we all different. We all learn different ways. If you feel like you learn more from audiobooks, that's great. Have at it, right? But I'm telling you what the science is telling me. Not my opinion, but the science. And in closing, I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate your time. I know I've been on here almost 3 hours, so it's hanging out with me. It's been beneficial. Shout out to Eileen, shout out to Cash Barbie, shout out to Dr. Bombay, shout out to Cooley High, shout out to Supreme J99. All right, shout out to RN Theos, shout out to Betty Myers, shout out to Memphis 9 Ether, shout out to Justina B. Shout out to Ross Slim. All right, everybody who's hit the. I'm just shouting out. If you're in the comments, you can still hit up the comments. And we're gonna close with a song. I'm probably gonna have to clip this, but I want to leave y'all with some music before we go. I think you'll like this one. I think y'all like this one, and I want to say. Well, I ain't gonna say it yet. I'll play it after the song.
I just draw some roses on a pretty piece of paper.
Peace, power, and prosperity. Y'all see my light bulb just blew. Our light bulb just blew. Peace, power, and prosperity. Rob Blackstorm, thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for rocking with me. Those of you who spent the whole damn near 3 hours, right? Those of you on the replay, thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. They could probably go copyright me, so I'm about to cut the song at the end. But I still want to say peace to y'all. Thank you and this is just a live treat for y'all. All right. One love, one consciousness. Let's make it happen. Peace again. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I got more heat coming.